I always had love for dogs. Dogs always was my first love. But when I started my podcast and when I started YouTube, it was a little bit different for me. I wanted to bring awareness to some of the health problems that certain breeds would have that might be underlined that the average consumer or the average owner might not know about. I wanted to bring awareness to how important it is to deworm your dog, or how important it is to make sure your dog get, their blood work done at once a year. And I definitely wanted to bring awareness to saving money in your pocket, because dogs cost. So Duro Lounge is one of those things where we conversate about things that we went through, things that we had to deal with, and what you might see in the future.
Yo, Duro Ricio Bully Camp. What's that word? I'm here with Rain from UnXcripted Podcast, man. A brother that I just told him backstage how much respect I got for him and his knowledge of dogs and amongst other things, man. So, Rain, welcome back to the channel, man.
Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it.
And what's been going on with you, man? Because you've been laying low a little bit.
Not too much, man. Trying to find another property, a bigger property for myself, so I can do some, expand on some stuff I already got going on. But not too much, man. Preparing for the fall.
Yeah, for sure. I'm waiting for the fall, man. I had enough of this hot weather, man.
Oh no, I meant the fall, the collapse.
Oh.
I like the hot weather. I wish it'd stay like this. I wish it would stay a constant 85, 50% humidity.
For real,
all over.
Man?
Good.
Ooh, that's too much for me, man. That's too much for me. But yeah, man. So let me ask you, what you think about the Merle gene, bro?
I mean, it's I'm not gonna really say. I'll say what I know about it, rather more so than what I think about it. I mean, it's a mutated, gene that's shown up in numerous animals. Some animals take to it better than others. We know it's got its ups and downs, like with anything. I think with the score, it in itself seemed like it has more downs than ups. But I guess maybe if you're looking at it from a financial standpoint, then it's got more ups than downs. So, depending on who you are, what type of person you are, what you're looking to do with your animals, you may or may not have that in your program. But like I said, you do have some breeds, like you have the Great Dane, Shelties, I think it might be one or two more Catahoulas, maybe one more that exhibit that trait as well. And they seem to deal with it to an extent, I think, because that they've come up with it, so they've adapted to it better. I'm not saying that it's been perfected within any of these animals, and I don't know enough about all of those particular breeds and how they adhere to the Merle gene, but I know specifically you're most likely referring to with bullies and pit bulls and Dobermans.
I ain't never seen no Merle pit bull though, Rain.
Well, that's why I did like this.
Oh, okay. Now it was somebody that said that Kobe had a Merle or in his litter or something.
I mean, here's the thing. It is a mutation. You know what I mean? So being that it is a mutation, if somewhere along the lines, like there's a thing called de novo or sporadic mutation, where a animal can exhibit a mutation that neither one of the parents have. It's not going to be necessarily recessive on the animal. That it'll be visual, but it won't be recessive in most cases. So it's possible that maybe there was a Merle pit bull, like genetically, through through a lot of breedings, maybe a lot of inbreedings and different things, outcrossing, bringing in different dogs from here and there. Yeah, I'm sure there probably was, some Merle dogs here and there. You know what I mean? But a lot of, like I said, it's without a panel and without that dog, can't really say what it really was. Was it a recessive Merle or was it de novo? You know what I mean? Something that just popped up randomly and they never saw it again. It was just that type of mutation. So, but I think that, you can't, when I now say what I think is, you can't stop it. You can't do anything about it. I'm not necessarily for or against it, because it also the Merle kind of falls in the line of the designer animal or the designer, let's just say the designer animal, just in the category of that. Yep. I don't necessarily believe it's a designer animal. I wouldn't call it that, because it is what it is a trait that exists. But I think that I think that's basically what it's basically become. It's kind of like with the band dog, where you have a definition of a band dog, but currently that's not what a band dog is right now in 2026. Right. So I think that's the same thing, and the Merle gene has its own kind of significance. Like I said, I'm neither for nor against it. I think it can be used responsibly. I've seen some Merle dogs where I'm like, oh man, that pattern looks really nice, and then I've seen some where I'm like, man, that shit looks terrible. You know what I mean? And it is what it is. Now, do I want that personally? No, I don't want it personally. It's not something that I would want to deal with, just because. If listen, you're not supposed to breed Merle to Merle, but I'm like, damn, bro, I got two great looking Merle dogs here and I can't put them together. So I have to breed away from them. And so for me, it's a limit. It's just another limitation on what I can and can't do with my stock. So, for me personally, it's not for me, but I think if you are messing with the Merle gene, then you definitely should be using it responsibly and be transparent about it, for sure.
Yes, sir. For sure. I know you mentioned to me about wanting to get more land. Are you getting back into dogs, man, or
no?
Okay.
No more dogs. I mean, I'm not saying I might not have a dog on the yard, but yeah, as far as programming those days are long past, man. I don't even
done that.
Yeah, I don't even have any snakes here anymore. I sold all my cobras, my vipers, all that stuff. I'm actually, so you see, I got a cat tree in the back. So I actually have an F4 Bengal up there sleeping right now. And I got an F1 female as well. So actually what I'm doing right now is working on I'm creating a brand new line of Bengal that's totally separate from all the current Bengal cat lines right now. So, and I've never done domestic females. I mean, female felines.
Yeah, I know.
I've worked with wild cats plenty of times, in institutions and things like that, but I've never owned a domestic cat, even though this is like, this is this cat's probably got about 7% wild DNA. I've never done the domestic feline thing in my house, like ever on any level. So this would be the first time for me.
Let's get into that a little bit, man, because I never heard of that before. I mean, I know people breed cats and stuff like that and do things with cats, but I never really spoke to someone who does it. So give me a little insight of that. I might be the first person that got this information, man.
Well, I mean, for me, like I said, it's a brand new program for me. But I got to go through a process of hybridization first. As far as breeding, obviously, I've been doing that since I was a kid. So, breeding is breeding, but, as far as writing your program out and where it's going to go and getting there is a different thing. But it's actually a lot faster process to even get recognized than it is with making a dog breed in the exact same form. Like, even if you have all dogs that are all registered with papers, DNA tests, you can't just put them all together and walk them into the AKC. You'd be like, yeah, I got a new dog. I got the Duro Mastiff. You'd be like, okay, that's great, but it don't work like that. You know what I mean? Come back in 10 years type of shit. So But with felines, I found out that it's actually a faster process of getting in and getting it done. Is as long as all the cats are papered, you can get recognized a lot faster. And
Okay.
you know, I'm never really been a like. Obviously, people all talk like, "Oh man, you want a tiger, a lion, a bobcat, a puma." Like, now I'll say this: back in the day, I had a puma for about not even half a day. I bought it after I graduated from high school from a lady out of the trading post for $500. But my people figured out what it was, and you know, they like, get that thing out of here, which was for the best, because I didn't, you know, once that thing got a certain size, you know, I had, you know, in my mind, you know, when you think about things in your mind, especially at that age, it's a lot different than the way it plays out sometimes. So, but I remember this actually goes back to, see him up there. It actually goes back to around that same time in Dog Fancy and Dog World magazine, right? Like, I was never really getting cat fancy. I would get reptile, aquarium, bird, Dog World, Dog Fancy. Those are all the ones that I like to read. But I remember in one of the Dog World magazines, they did an advertisement for a Savannah cat. And, you know, I was like amazed, like, oh man, they got a cat, walking this cat on the leash in the picture. That's a huge cat. They're describing it. And so, you know, immediately I hop on the phone. And, you know, I call them and I'm like, hey, man, I'm interested in one of these Savannah cats. In my head, it's a cat. How much can it be? You know, if the dog costs a couple $1,000s, how much could this cat possibly be? You know, and I remember the lady on the phone was like, you know, okay, well, F1 start at like 15,000. They go up to 25,000. And I'm like, oh, excuse me, ma'am, I'm just wasting your time. You know what I mean? Like, I'm 17, 18, but I don't have that kind of money. You know, so I get off the phone with her because I'm like, damn, bro, I thought she was gonna say maybe like something I could save up to. Let me send you this $300 I got on the table right here as a deposit. You know what I mean? And I get you the rest in on the next litter. I'm like, it's gonna be about 10 litters. So I had a chance to get a F1 Bengal, founder Bengal, for a decent price. Wasn't cheap. Wasn't as, I don't even know where he's gone. It wasn't as cheap as that one, but and I don't want to say because he wasn't necessarily cheap, but cheaper. It's pretty. It was a pretty penny. I'll say that. Like, you could have bought a car with it, but in the end, in the end, if I play my cards right, I mean that you're gonna double that for me. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, because this is really, you know, at the end of the day, this is for me. You know, I ain't gonna bullshit. I'm not about to sit here and say that, you know, I won't sell cats to certain people and things like that, but it's gonna be tight because all the F1 through F3 males are all sterile. So everything that I breed off of my female, all those males are gonna be sterile. So if I get a whole litter of males, I'm gonna be stuck, you know, to the next litter. And since I can't use those males, you know, obviously I'm going to sell them. You know, I may keep one or two just to see how they progress. But until I get to the 4th generation of males, I won't even have anything viable. So I'll be working with F2 and F3 females for a little while. You know, breeding down off of that to get into the F4s. But I haven't figured out what other cat I want to use in my quest for this new line. So I'm still, you know, still debating.
I got you. So I realized that you told me you got rid of all your snakes, man. Why would you do that? You love your reptiles, man. What happened? Yeah, I do, but you know, one, I need that space in there until I get the bigger space. But two, at the same time, like, man, I'm kind of getting up in age and dealing with you know, 10, 11 foot cobras on a daily basis is, I mean, it's fun, but it's also very dangerous. You know what I mean? And, you know, like, I've been, you know, my arms, they don't work as well as they used to, you know, things like that. And the last thing I want to do is be dealing with a snake and my arm lock up or something like that on me. And, you know, what can I do in a situation like that? Yeah.
In the most part, I probably wouldn't be in any danger, but it's still a possibility. You know, snakes aren't out to kill anybody. You know what I mean? So, but it's not to say that I won't own reptiles again. I'm sure that I'll end up with a pair of spitting cobras, red spitters, because those are my favorite at some point, you know. But right now, I just want to kind of take a break from that, give myself a break from that. You know, I can get those snakes anytime. Those snakes cost $200-$300. It's not a, you know what I mean? I could call right now and get 5-6 of them to the airport. You know, it's not a big deal. But this is a little bit more important to me because this is what I wrote my dissertation on in college. I didn't write it on cats. I wrote it on making my own dog breed. So this is really, it's the same thing.
It's the same thing. I mean? Yeah.
I'm just using
even
the canine.
Even when I heard you say that, you know, I'm not saying that I won't sell some cats, but when you said that, you know, it's going to be real tight, I was going to say that's like thinking like a dog, man.
For sure. I mean, with anything, even when I bred snakes, man, you know, same thing. You know, I just recently did a podcast on that and got a lot of, man, these guys are going crazy over that, but talking about the same thing, you know, bloodlines, paperwork, you know, programming, even in the reptile world, they have projects, but, you know, I don't use that terminology. I'm not the type to do what the Romans do when I go to Rome. I make them do what I do when I'm in Rome. So that's just how I do things.
That's right.
That's right. You know, I same thing I was talking about in there was, you know, how, you know, you got people charging you just ridiculous amounts of money for animals that are like greatly presented, but they're poorly positioned, they're poorly bred. Like, you know, think about it like this, they're like, just to, I don't want to go too far into the reptile thing, but you have some people like advertising like, oh, they have like this great bloodline on this tree python. It's got all this paperwork on it, really, but it's really all bullshit. But they want $8,000 for this snake, right? So it doesn't make sense from a breeder standpoint. It's like, if you got a snake that's so great and you're going to sell it to somebody who's probably just going to keep it as a pet, or it's going to get outcrossed into some wild animal instead of going back into another great bloodline. So, you know, they pretty much call me almost every name in the book they could without calling me the N-word, because I said that and proved it. You know, amongst other things, we were talking about animal health. We were talking about panel testing in the reptile world and things like that. You know, running panels to know if this animal was actually a melanistic animal or is it suffering from melanosis or, you know, but it's different. It's different, but there's similarities there as well. Like you can compare the ball python to the American bully. You can compare the green tree python almost to the American pit bull terrier in a way, in the Amstaff way.
Break that down. How can you compare them? Break that down.
Well, so one, as far as, and we're talking about the majority. We're not talking about the people who really are really American bully enthusiasts, and they really do like the breed for whatever it's worth. You know, and you know, we're talking about people who have really put time and they're like, you know, this is a dog that I like. It's not about money. Yes, I do make money on this dog, but you know, that's not my MO here, basically.
Right.
Hold on, give me a second.
No problem, bro.
So I need to get a desk in here. That's what I need to do. Oh, this motherfucker's still up here. I'll just use his cat tree. So anyway, I thought he left the room. So we're talking about just the average person with these dogs that probably started off as a pet person and then they got their first dog and 15 minutes later they became a breeder or decided they were going to become a breeder. It's the same thing with the ball python. Like, that's generally where a lot of people run to start because it's so easy. It's so easy to do. Like, it's no thought process involved. You go buy some ball pythons. They keep these animals like they're in a production warehouse. They just keep them in drawers with no lights on newspaper. They barely change the water. You know, this is just the ball python aspect of it.
Right.
The dog people aren't this bad.
Nah.
But as far as both of these animals are almost, by the majority of people that have them, are strictly being bred for $1, and that's it, and that and nothing more. And so I talked about this on a reptile podcast, this exact same thing, where you're just seeing it's just this abundance of, like, right now, man, there's probably, if you get on Morph Market, there's like 15,000 pages, no exaggeration, of ball pythons for sale, of all prices, from $100 up to $50,000. You know what I mean? Like, all different mutations. It's the snake that came in one color now exists in like 1,000 different mutations. You know, some of them are less healthier than the other ones. Some of them are less desirable than the other ones. But everybody is in a race to say that they're a breeder, so this is where they run. And with a lot of people with the bullies, it was such a popular breed because of what it looked like, and it came in. You had the exotic, and then the pocket, and then the standard, and then the classic, and then the XL, and the XXL. And now you got these hairless, and so it's like the same thing. So people ran there and treated it like a gimmick rather than like an animal. You know what I mean? They treated it like a gimmick because they knew. I don't think those dogs are selling now like they were just maybe even 2 or 3 years ago. But people knew that they were going to get at least $2,000 or $3,000 per puppy. It doesn't matter who they were. And if you took the right picture and got it posted on Instagram and you got enough followers, like, oh man, it was over. Same thing. All python, followers now equals like experience. More people, and even in the real, motherfucker got more followers and they got friends now.
Right.
So, like, that was one thing. With I say the green tree python to the American pit bull terrier is because the green tree python people are a little bit more classy about it. There's a little bit, there's more money, a little bit more care in there, but there's a lot of bullshit in there too. But they've got some type of paperwork attached to these animals. It's nothing substantial. But they've got these bloodlines that go back to the 70s, but they really don't. Because they're not really, everything is outcrossed. Like, I did a 4-hour podcast on this. I pulled up all the pedigrees, exposed all that shit. So it's more of a refined animal. We're talking about, like, your average green tree python could sell anywhere from, like, I don't know, it's really not even that so far in between. It's not even an average. It's like you could see them for $400 all the way up to $15,000.
Wow.
For a snake that made $15,000 snake that may not even look as good as a $600 snake, but it's got this paperwork behind it, and so you got this guy telling you this BS story behind it, and so that's how they get people to buy it, and then they think that they have something that they really don't at the end of the day. Rather than, like, people, I'm not even sure people are even having fun with animals anymore. Like, where's the passion? Like, it's all profit now. Like, I do this. This is my profession. It's not my hobby. It's not a joke. I'm not in the dog game. I'm not in the snake game. You know what I mean? Because, I got
in
snake
business.
Right. Well, I'm retired for real. I don't even really do this. Like, at any point in my life, I would have told you, and I still would tell you, that this is all for me. I started getting reptiles for me and my friends, and I just had to get stuff in order to move. But I ended up with extra stuff, so I had to sell it because I couldn't keep it. So I started making money that way, and I was like, man, well, I might as well make some money while I'm here. Like, I got to eat at some point. So, but we had fun. Like, my friend, like, I influenced a lot of people coming up in high school. Like, you know what I mean? Like, as far as
I can see that,
reptiles, bro. Like, a lot of those guys, we still talk about that today. Like, yeah, bro, I remember I bought those chameleons fucking around with you. Or, well, man, we used to go out to such and such Sligo Creek and for 2-3 hours every other day. Like, that was my life. You know what I mean? Like, that was what we did, and it was fun. And we didn't really care how much money we made or who was black or who was white. No,
I did that.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say we lost the host.
I put it on you because you was talking game.
So, we that's what it was about then. It was just about a bunch of boys and girls at the time having fun. And me personally, I never lost that feeling. So when I think about or when I see certain things online happening in the animal world, and then I go to any podcast, not a particular podcast, but any podcast, and I see like the arguing over who's the better breeder, what's the better breed. Like, bro, all that shit is bullshit and it's subjective at the same time. Like, if this dog works for you, then it's the best breed. I'm not gonna debate. There's no debate. Like, oh, this dog is the best for guard work, and this is why. No, that dog's the best for guard work for you in your situation. That's great, though. I don't really give a shit. But let's talk about how your let's just hypothetical. Maybe you don't change your water enough, or maybe you don't. Maybe your dogs are this, or maybe like you're worried about the wrong thing, or you're giving your dogs these new vaccines that are out here, or you're not thinking about, damn, the water supply is running low, or well, because they're still in that shit, or there is a food shortage out here. Like, so I'm worried about how great my dog is. Hell, in 2-3 years, you might not even have anything to feed these dogs. You might be eating them dogs.
Right.
So, you know what I mean?
God forbid. God forbid.
Yeah, for sure. But, those are things that I think about as well, because I already know they want to stop the pet trade, and they're doing subtle things.
They're trying to now. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. What, a lot of, I think a big problem is none of the animal people really communicate, and the ones that do is not enough. Like the dog people and the cat people and the horse people and the reptile people and the bird people and everybody, they all need to be working together because you're all animal people. You're all fighting the same fight.
Right.
You know what I mean? But they
That's
don't
how
really
it should
communicate.
be.
So that means they don't know when there's getting ready to be a law that could ban exotic animals. And when people think exotic, they only thinking maybe a reptile or a frog. They're not understanding that fish and tarantulas and rabbits and other animals fall in that too. Because that there was a bill that existed, I believe, in 2020 or 2021 called the Competes Act, that there was a small paragraph in there that if that bill had got passed, it would have been the end of exotic animals. Transactions would have, from state to state, transactions would have been illegal. You wouldn't have been able to take your animal right across the line to the vet because, what did they say? I forget what one of the laws was, but the actual name for it. But yeah, like if you got a rabbit that's now considered an exotic animal on this ban, and the only vet that can service you is in New York, and you live in Philly, and you try to go to Philly, and you go to New York from Philly, and your doctor's like, oh, where are you from? Or see your ID, like, bro, you drove here from Philly. He could be cool and be like, he's an animal lover and just treat the animal like he should. But he could be like, yo, I got a guy up here, drove in here from Philly with a bunch of rabbits trying to get them shots, and boom. You know what I mean? So I think now, social media has thrown like this taint in the water. And so now everybody is just trying to outdo everybody. And the most important things are being overlooked or forgotten. They're not talking about it all. Like I was talking to you, bro, a lot of these guys and girls don't even know dog basics. They breed in dogs.
No, they don't. And they make mistakes in between of making captions of like they put things in there that you like. That's not how it works. Like you can't take, I said this before, like you can't take American Bully and American Pit Bull Terrier and put it together and think that you're going to get, a guaranteed litter, because that's two different dog breeds. Like that is, you're going to get different variations of that dog. You know what I'm saying? You're not just going to.
That's what happens with anything. I think if people don't, and that's basic. I think people, it should be pretty simple to know, like if you take dog A and you put it with dog B, you breed them together, you're going to get 3 phenotypes. You're going to get some that look like A physically, some that look like B physically, and then you're going to get some that got their own little thing going on.
They got their own thing. Right.
You know what I mean? Like that's generally what happens when you breed animals. You get either or and something in the middle. And
but they don't know that.
Right. And then that's when you decide, over a period of time, you know, it depends, because some people, everybody's got a different process of maybe you keep the puppies till they're 8 weeks and you get them gone. Like me personally, like if I'm programming, you know, those dogs are going to be there for like 4 or 5 months so I can figure out which dog I need.
Which one you going to keep, right?
You know, and then from there I can start, you know, auctioning them off for however I'm doing it. Right. But I know a lot of people don't do that. You know, because they're like, you know, I need to get them out of here as soon as possible. And that mindset right there isn't really the mindset of a dog breeder or a breeder in general.
No.
Because you're
but
a
you
real
know why?
breeder.
But you
go ahead. No, I was gonna say a real breeder have a hard time getting rid of anything because people don't want to let nothing go because he's got such
because it's for them.
For it.
Right. The thing about it is, what I always say though too, Rain, is that everybody follows somebody and they follow somebody too much. And nobody have no identity. Like everybody's doing the same thing, right? So like the main thing is like people make mistakes. It's like, oh, well, I see how this person is take pictures. I'm gonna take pictures like this person. No. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like you have to have your own identity out here, because if people want that, they just gonna follow that person. You know what I'm saying? Like
is no, for sure. I see it all the time. Like I see a lot of people just redoing, somebody does something, a trend in general, and obviously you got 50 million people got to do their own version of it. But now it's gotten to the point where they're really running out of shit to do and say. So I'm starting to notice like less and less content. It's still repetitive, but it's less of it because they're just running out of things to say and do at this point.
Yep.
I think that's why there's a lot more drama happening now than anything else. Or again, like you're reverting back to, it's like there's something that I've been seeing in the dog world that I think is like I think it's stupid. Is the separation between the show world and
the working world.
The working world, right? Like, first of all, like you need both of them to exist. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like a lot of people don't understand. I'm pretty sure I've said this before. You know, the show is what's saving these niggas. That's what they don't understand. That's really what's saving them. Because if those rich people who started this back in 1864 hadn't put, and that's why AKC is worth so much. You know, if they hadn't been enthusiasts of this enough to put money and then start even these private breed clubs and things like that, when these laws come into effect, a lot of these dogs that people have and that you're debating over would be illegal. These kennel clubs, these show clubs, AKC has saved your ass many times. But a lot of these guys don't know that because they really don't. Like, yeah, you know the history of the pit bull, but you don't know the history of dogs. And for me, that's sad. Like, I get it. Like, great. That's great that you know everything about a pit bull. Like, that's great. You know what I mean? That's like, oh, great. You know all of Michael Jordan's stats, but you don't really know nothing about basketball.
Right.
You know, like me, I don't know nothing about Michael Jordan or basketball. So I'm not even going to debate you there. I don't fuck with sport. That ain't my thing. So I don't even get into it. But
I got you.
But you know what I mean? But if I was playing this the same way, then I would know all about sports. I know when they made the first basketball, why it's that size, you know, who, the uniform, the court. I would know everything.
Right.
The basics. And I could have never even played the game.
But that's what make a great coach, though. Certain great coaches never played the game, but they could tell you what to do, and you can be successful at it.
Right. Well, and I was going to say that also brings up another situation that you hear about or comments you hear about is like people want to praise legends, right? Like, oh my God, this dude was a legend. He did all this, you know, back in the 60s, 70s or whenever. He retired now, right? They want to respect the legends. But it's been times, this even happened to me, is when I say like, oh, I don't do this anymore. I don't breed this anymore. So now all of a sudden, my knowledge or my experience don't matter no more. How is that you praising a legend over here, or what you call a legend over here on one end, But then I say I'm done, this, that, and the other. Oh yeah, well you need to go back to the rep. I got dog people telling me I need to go back to the reptiles. I got reptile people telling me I need to go back to the dogs. And I'm like, it's funny because the people that be saying that generally, like I said, these guys, you sit down with them, like, bro, you don't even know anything.
Don't even know anything.
So it's funny, all this whole new character that has been created through social media. Like, I used to like dealing with it and debating with the character, the type.
Me too.
But it's not even fun because most of them, they're not that intelligent. So they just say things. Yep. And unfortunately, I say that to say this, like, unfortunately, that's bad for animals in general. And it's also bad for anyone, like you said, that may be listening to these people or considering them to be a mentor. Is spewing off information or not even correcting something. Like you have somebody on your show who says something that's just like wildly absurd. Like me personally, me? Hold on, bro. Hold on.
Who, me personally?
There's nothing wrong with debate, for one. You know, debate is debate. Like animal politics, we're here to debate animal politics. That's great. That's what we're supposed to do. But you can have somebody come on the show and start saying something that is just wild, like, you know, like, oh, hold on, bro. Like, really? Like, hold on, bro, I'm gonna see some facts or this, that, and the other. Like, are you sure that's true, bro? I don't think that's true. Or da. And sometimes you're just the host, just let them say shit. But maybe that's just me being me. Like, I just let them say it. And I'm like, but I don't. But if you don't feel like, regardless, then I understand you are doing an interview, even if it was me. If I say something and you want to challenge it, challenge that shit. Like, you're a grown man, you're a grown woman. If I say the sky is purple and you like, hold on,
it's blue.
Hold on, the sky is not purple. And I'm like, it is purple. Like, prove to me. So now we're gonna prove. Now we're gonna figure out if the sky is purple or is it blue.
So let me ask you this, beloved, because I 100% understand what you're saying, and you're 100% right. But I love the American bully. And since you on Duro Lounge bully camp, I gotta ask you this question. Every time it's a dog attack and you comment on it, you say it must have been American bully. And I want to know why.
Most of the time it was American bully.
No, it ain't, man. Most of the time it's a damn band dog, man.
Well, let's say this. It's almost never a pit bull. But no, really why? Honestly, because in the last couple years, it has been a lot of American bully attacks. But in most cases, but here's the thing, a lot of them bullies are band dogs. So, you know, so that's the thing. Like, you right now, either way, but sometimes it depends on whose page it is too. Sometimes I just be being a dick because it could be.
I know.
On whose page it is. Because here's the thing, bro. I've owned bullies. You know what I mean? I've had classic bullies. I've had pocket bullies. I would never own a pocket bully again, never in my life. But I think the classic bully. I mean, it ain't nothing but the only thing they did was put the Amstaff and the pit bull back together. I don't really even understand that, to be honest, how it's, but whatever. I think that honestly, I think those original ones were awesome fucking dogs. And I've had
I agree with you, bro.
And they have all been great dogs. Now the XLs and those pockets and that mini shit, I don't like. If that's what you like, that's what you like. But I ain't got no respect for that shit. And don't get me wrong, I've seen some nice ones that were like athletic and they were functional, but not many. Most people that I know, like we were saying, they just got that dog because they knew at one point in time that they could eat off of it.
Right. Well, I see what you're saying about the micros and the exotics. And even the Frenchies for me, because I just see in the vet field, I see so many Frenchies having breathing problems, bro.
I'm sure.
You know what I mean?
I'm sure. And that dog has taken, and this designer Frenchie outnumbers the real purebred Frenchie. Right. I can't even remember the last time I saw a real Frenchie because, one, I've rarely seen a real Frenchie. My entire dog career, I've probably seen 5 or 6 French bulldogs.
Yep.
real.
That was real. Yeah. I agree.
I see designer French bulldog every 15 minutes.
They can't breathe, man. They can't breathe, bro.
And here's the thing: it's like it's. I understand it's a breed back. This is my thing. It's a breed back. We know the process, but you know all the lying about how they got there, and it's not just the Frenchie. Now look, the Doberman. The Doberman has got new colors. The Bull Terrier is getting new colors.
Oh my gosh.
What else? I don't think the American Bully can't get no. It's got all the colors. It's gonna be see-through next. So it's gonna be invisible. Nigga just gonna be walking, just gonna be dragging a leash down the thing, a spike collar with nothing on it. Invisibly, like
yep.
500K. But that's the other dogs, man. But remember, if you depending on how old you are, or some of the people that may see this, if you remember in the late 90s dog world, they were showing you Dapple Dachshunds, and there was another breed that they were showing where this was starting, this designer thing was starting to happen. And then I remember that was the first time I ever saw a Merle pit bull in the Dog World magazine out of a kennel in Ohio. I can't remember the name of the kennel, but it had the whole thing. The picture was a gray Merle, or maybe it was a blue Merle dog. I think it was a gray Merle dog. I can't remember the name of the picture, but of the kennel, but I remember it was out of Columbus, Ohio. But
they had Cane Corsos too, right?
I'm not sure if he did or not.
I think I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
But that dog was advertised as American Pit Bull Terrier. But even the classic bullies, if you go through the Stratton book, that dog, throwing knuckles, razor's edge, he was set in there as a Pit Bull Terrier. But you know, if you deal with bullies and Amstaffs, so you know, AKC, I mean not AKC, AKC too, but UKC will register them dual
as pit bulls.
Yeah. But then AKC only register as Amstaff. Then ABDA will register a UKC or ABDA. I mean, not an ABDA, AKC Amstaff as a pit bull.
Yep.
So, like the whole thing. Remember we were talking about that, you know, long before. Like it's a separation. It's a separation of, you know, it's just like two motherfucking brothers, and one went this way and one went that way.
For sure.
You know, that's what it was. Unfortunately for the Amstaff, though, there's not a lot of bloodlines. That's the unfortunate thing.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Because they kept closing the books. They closed the books and then they never reopened the books. But I mean, what pit bulls exist? What 100% real pit bulls now would you like? Where would you go to get one to use for an Amstaff line? I mean, I don't know. I mean, that's a legit question.
Honestly, you couldn't. You would just have to go get an AKC registered Amstaff now.
I don't think you could like I'm saying, like if you want to take if you were an Amstaff breeder, you wanted to bring a pit bull line in, like there's nothing that matches anymore. You know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying.
They're so far separated now.
Yep.
That there's nothing that matches anymore. So it's kind of like the what is the other one? Shit, I forgot the dog I was gonna say, but yeah, man. There's shit. What else?
What, the similar to the pit bull and the Amstaff?
There was another dog that split and went two ways like that. I don't know why I'm having a brain fart like that.
You talking about a Mastiff?
Goodness. But well, it'll come. We'll just chat. It'll come back to me. It'll pop back in my head.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, you're absolutely right, man. But I feel like that's why myself, man, like I got bullies, and that's why, like me, I just refuse to be like everybody else because I want to preserve the bullies that I have. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I have like the old school bullies. I don't got that breathing problem. I don't have that.
Right.
I don't have that. So you start a line and F1s down and think about your F4s. You know what I'm saying? I'm in the right place. You know what I'm saying? So that's why me personally, I will never follow trends or what somebody else want to say about what I'm doing or what I'm not doing. You know what I mean? Because a lot of people think like I'm supposed to be like, oh, you supposed to be like this, but no, I'm Duro. I'm being me. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm
But
not
there's
gonna
a lot of that
follow.
these days.
That's what I'm saying, and I don't want to be a part of it.
Yeah, it's a lot of that these days. And I think, I mean, as far as and to go back to the bully for a second, I think that classic. I mean, even Dave said, even though I don't mess with Dave, but even he said when they were banning him in London and he did that interview where he tried to backtrack, he was like, hey, everything outside of the standard classic bully, I don't have nothing to do with that stuff. And you know what? I mean, one, I don't agree with that, but I think what you just said, that is the only bully, the only American bully. All that stuff behind it and after it, you know what I mean? Like as far as that little micro shit and then the extra, that's not the real shit anyway. And,
not at all.
And even him saying that, even though he made money, he made millions off of them. All of them, you didn't stop them people from sending in them registries, but the only dog that he ever created was the dog that you're talking about.
Absolutely.
And
that raised an edge.
And so when I'm speaking about American bully, like when I do make them comments, like when I say that, I'm not even talking about that dog. I'm talking about, I'm not even talking about that dog. I'm talking about that other dog.
Okay, I got you.
I'm not even talking about that dog. I'm talking about the other dog. That classic bully into a Bordeaux, into a Neo, into a Pressa, into a Mastiff, and then back into another bully. And that's what I'm, that unstable, that that 250-pound dog. So dog got dog feet this big. And he weighed 200 pounds, bro. Come on now.
You ain't lying though, man. You ain't lying at all.
Dog feet this big. Dogs already don't really have big feet when you really think about it in comparison in the animal world. Like, so you got this 150, 160 pound dog, feet this damn big.
Little legs.
8 months old.
Terrible back legs.
Bro, he 8 months old. He already 130 pounds and they talking about some hip dysplasia. Well, we ain't worried about it. Like, shit, that dog's definitely... If he didn't have it, you gave it to him.
You got it. So, you got it, brother.
But yeah, I mean, it's. I think right now, I think a lot of people, man, need to kind of just, even breeders, bro, they just kind of sit back and pick up a dog encyclopedia again, pick up a dog book and go back and do some research and understand. Somebody hit me up about color coats and I was talking to them. They were like, they were asking me about the blue, what I thought about the blue pit bull. And because some people say that, that dog is not game or it's softer. And I'm like, my brother has said that. And I've heard other people say that as well. I said, but then if hit the history of the blue paw, it kind of disputes that. I said, but color is a defining factor in mental and physical stability in everything. People, plants, animals, dogs, you know what I mean? There's a whole book about this, about how all those colors equate. And, they did a study. They did a study on the color coats. And they found that the darker dogs were more aggressive than the lighter coated dogs.
That's a fact.
Health problems. Like, we know this. They've been dealing with all white dogs, like the dogo. That's why the dogo is deaf, lack of pigment, because white is not a color, it's a lack of color, and black isn't a color either.
Look, man, you cooking. Keep going, man. Keep going.
So sometimes when you see something that's white or black to the normal eye, it's not really white or black at all. Because melanistic is not black. Melanosis is not black. There's different types of albinism. Leucism. Pretty sure I probably still said that wrong. But all of that stuff, there's like, I can show you pictures of 10 different black snakes, and none of them are actually black. But you're gonna say that they are. And I can show you pictures of 10 different white snakes that are not white, but to the average eye, to the untrained eye, you're gonna argue till your face is blue that those are white or black snakes, even though you were totally wrong. And And so you got to be really important. So when we were talking about the Merle gene or the blue gene, like, yeah, we understand that blue is a dilution. Blue is a dilution of black for sure. So it might make sense that that dog may be a little softer than a black dog because it is a dilution, and that's mentally and physically. You see what I'm saying? Yep. So we also know that the blue dog has health problems.
Yes.
But
allergies.
Are there exceptions to the rules? Of course. But it's a dilution. So you got to understand that. You got to keep that in mind. You're dealing with a dilute. The key word is dilute, right? They're telling you there's going to be something wrong, which means that you should probably panel that dog or that animal, whatever it is, because you automatically know you're dealing with a dilution. If you got a Merle dog, you automatically know you're dealing with a mutation. It's no secret. It's right there. So you panel test the dog to see what's going on, or the animal, whatever, to see what's going on with it before you start breeding it or saying what you got, or, you know, I mean,
anything.
There's so many factors, you know, that go into it. You know, longevity, like, you know, you got people breeding and talking about dogs contributing to programs, and they've only been breeding 2 or 3 years. Bro, how you know your dog's gonna make it to 5? Genetically, you don't even know that.
Right.
You know what I mean? I wouldn't know it either until they got there. So you got to be careful about the claims that you make and these prices that you're charging. And, you know, I get calls about kennels all the time, bro. And I'm talking about kennels with these guys got 500, 600, 700, up to 1 million subscribers and followers on YouTube and Instagram, and I get calls about their dogs all the time, or their program and what's really going on. Is it worth the $6,000, $7,000, $8,000 that I might spend? I already got a deposit with this guy. What should I do? Like, you know, and I keep it real with him. You know, listen, bro, like there's a lot. I don't like most people. I think most people figure that out about me. Like anybody, my sister would tell you that. Like,
I'm the same way, bro.
I don't like most people. It is what it is. But, you know, I've worked with chefs that I couldn't fucking stand, but they were still a beast in the kitchen. And I learned as much as
and you have respect for them.
And so I say that to say this: even if I don't like you, animal politics wise, if you got something going on that's worth it, I will still be like, yeah, look, bro, I don't like dude, but yo, he got some fire ass pit bulls over there, bro. I'll tell you that. Matter of fact, while you getting one for yourself, get me one too, because he won't sell to me. Because you know what I mean? Like I would never take that. I would never take that away, you know, from somebody. Now, if you some shit, then you some shit. I'm gonna say it. It is what it is. But there's a lot of factors that go into this, and I think right now I think we're dealing with a great deal of people who are not animal lovers. They just love to be seen with animals. And so animals are suffering the consequences on all levels, not just dogs.
You bet you are.
Snakes and just all over. What was that?
I said you bet, because of the simple fact that, especially when it comes to people that's breeding or that's breeding by mistake, meaning like people that got a bunch of cats and the cat's just breeding, you know, old ladies. The cat's not spayed and not neutered, and they just breeding these cats and breeding these cats. Next thing you know, they got hundreds of cats. Same thing, they got hundreds of dogs. Hundreds of dogs is on the farms in the South, and they're just humping, and it's beagles mixed with pit bulls. I mean, it's lab and pit. And I said this before. I got a show that I didn't drop yet, but I said this, like, who the heck was making the lab times the pit bull? Like, why would that even be a thing? Because you lose so much of the Labrador and what it brings, and you lose so much of the American Pit Bull Terrier and what it brings, that why would you even cross those two dogs together? But that's not a breed where people just technically just saying, oh, I want to breed this Labrador. They mistaken breedings. They don't mean to do these breedings. They just on a farm humping. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, there for sure. I mean, that's funny you brought that mix up, because in the 90s, that was a popular cross you used to see all the time. I think that's even how the bull boxer, not bull boxer. What is that boxer mix that became a breed in the 90s? And I remember seeing it in the dog encyclopedia, and I think it was a boxer. I'm not even going to try to remember. It was a boxer cross with something. I can't remember the other dog, but I used to see a lot of random crosses, especially if you spending summers in the Midwest where all those farms were, you'd go out there. People just have signs for puppies. You never knew what you were going to get out there.
No.
And they would sometimes I would go to those places and they'd have 4 or 5 different litters out there.
Absolutely.
But, even in the city, bro, I would go to where these guys were doing it more purposeful. Going to puppy mills, and they have English Mastiffs and Bulldogs, Pressas, or at least what they said were Pressas, Neos, all kind of dogs.
Absolutely.
And
same thing we got up here. We got a place it's called Lancaster, and they got nothing. It's the Amish people. It has nothing but puppy mills.
I'm familiar with Lancaster. Yeah, that's. I mean, there's a lot of big cat sanctuaries in that same area too, but they're really breeding big cats there and selling them. They ain't no fucking sanctuary. But I remember in the late 90s, man, I went to a puppy mill I didn't know it was a puppy mill to look for a Pressa. And I don't even know if what I bought was really a Pressa, but when I was describing was the same kennel. This guy had like every breed you could want there. I mean, and it was like dozens and dozens of dogs. And it was just him and this little Filipino lady. And, she was helping him out. Like, I probably had 50, 60 dogs there, 5, 6 different breeds. And I bought this Pressa. And that dog, it could have been. It didn't have any paperwork on it. And that was my first one. I had never seen one in person before. I'd only seen him in the magazines and in the books. But, I mean, he sure was aggressive. You know what I mean? At that point in time, like that dog, the dog was so aggressive. My aunt was like, because he was coming after her. Yeah, like I remember I went over to my homeboy's house, and we were over there smoking, chilling, whatever. And then we came back. He dropped me back off at my house, and so we still had like a half a blunt left. So we were on the side of my aunt's house smoking. And she let she didn't even know we were back there. She let the dog out. So the dog seen us out there, come up, start barking. They figured out it was me. So I let the dog out. I opened the gate, let the dog out with us. And as soon as my dude bent down to try to pet the dog, that motherfucker just, and this, I'm talking like this probably like 12 weeks old. Just, you know what I mean? I grabbed him real quick. He was like, my dude went, whoa, real quick, like. He was like, whoa. I said, yeah, man. I said, yeah, he tried that with my aunt a couple times, bro. Like,
dangerous.
So yeah, after like a few weeks of that, she was like, man, he's got to go. Because I was in college. So she was like, no way you about to leave me here. She's like, unless you can take him to college with you, like, and he can live on campus with you, you got to get rid of him. Find another dog. She's like, this, So I ended up with another Corso. I ended up with a Corso around that time. But yeah, man, it's funny. I mean, back then when I think about it now, like in hindsight to now, right, bro, it's a whole different ball game now, man. But I'd rather have a time machine and go back then with all the information I have now.
Right, and do it right.
Especially with my reptile shit. So
right. I know what you mean, man. I definitely know what you mean. I wish I never got out of dogs, and I wish I would have stayed in it, because I probably would be a lot farther than where I am now, because I jumped back in it a few years ago and just got me some dogs. You know what I'm saying? And I wish, like, when we had breedings, I wish I was able to keep those dogs. You know what I'm saying? Because we had some pretty good American Pit Bull Terrier blood. And that kind of just like, that's the thing that, you live and you learn. That's the thing about these dogs, man. You live and you learn. And now, the space we in now, we got to be better than what we were in the 90s. And that's the main thing, that I try to make sure that I'm better, than my brother, you know what I'm saying, and how we were in the 90s, you know what I'm saying, making sure that I'm, on top of my game and giving my dogs the best chance that I can give them, you know what I'm saying? And
Phil, all you got to do is incorporate some gas cans into your training regimen, and you're good. all you gotta do. I promise you, just some gas cans, the big ones. You gotta get the big ones. Hit your dog with them.
The big ones.
They will attack people with gas cans randomly when they see people
with gas cans.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh my gosh, man.
I mean, yeah. I never seen that in the 90s.
No, me either. Me either.
But no, I don't know. Maybe I'm just too much of a technical person. I'm just too no nonsense. And I'm like, if I'm training a dog to guard or to protect, why would I be using a gas can? Nobody's gonna rob me with a gas can.
Nah, not at all.
You got rubber knives, rubber guns, knives that, guns that shoot blanks, you got bats, you got all kind of stuff that you would actually get robbed with.
You know the sad truth is though, Rain? The sad truth is that a lot of people know that their particular dogs is not going to do anything, but it looks good on Instagram. It looks good on YouTube.
Bro, 95% of these dogs that are training for all this stuff, training, not work, it's training. There's a huge difference, bro, between you train to get the job and then you go to work.
Right.
If the dude has got a sleeve on and the man is in a suit, that is not bite work, bro. That is bite training. I'm so sick of that, bro. Maybe I'm just too technical. But work and training are two different words. They spell differently, they look differently, and they got two different meanings.
Absolutely.
But 90% of your dogs out here, I don't care who's training them, 95% of them are never going to be in a situation where they have to do anything.
Nope.
I know guys that have spent $10,000, $20,000 training a dog. And most likely that dog's probably never going to do anything. While ideally, if you bring a dog into your home of any breed, I don't care what breed it is, and you treat it right and you love it and you show it the correct discipline and all that shit, then that dog is going to protect that space regardless. You can listen. There's nothing wrong. You want to train your dog, refine his jaw strength or whatever. That's great. That's cool. No problem with that. But the dog is going to bite what's in front of it. So dog attacks someone, they put their hands up, most likely that's where the dog is going to bite. I mean, but regardless, if your dog attacks someone that's attacking you, that's all I needed. You know what I mean? Like, that's all I needed. But a lot of these dogs, a window breaks and they run. Or they don't see a man in a suit and they don't know what to do.
They don't know what to do.
Since you hit them with a gas can and they ain't never really been known. I mean, bro, I've seen some guys in some training videos. I can appreciate it. Like, I train my own stuff, but I've seen some of these guys really slamming these dogs into these walls. And whether somebody agrees with it or not, I kind of agree with it because that's what's going to happen.
That's 100% what's gonna happen. They're gonna try to break that dog back, whatever they can do.
Listen, bro, if I'm a burglar, now you're some random crackhead thief catching you walking down the street with your dog. He see you with your dog, he probably not even gonna. Your dog did its job just by being there. If you have a decent sized dog, he's probably not even gonna mess with you. Because even if he's got a gun, he pulls a gun and that dog starts barking or acting up, like he's going to draw attention to himself.
Right.
So he's probably going to pick an easier target. But we're talking about somebody coming necessarily into your home. Like, if I'm casing your house, if you really got something in there that I want or need, then I'm going to know that you got a dog or two dogs in there. So I'm going to account for that. I'm a cat burglar. That's my job. I rob shit.
Right.
You know what I mean? Them dogs, and if I'm the cat burglar, you're as good as robbed. Unless you shoot me, because your dogs are not going to stop me. Unless you got 10 dogs in your living room when I come in there. But I guarantee you, 2 dogs is not going to be enough because I already know they're in there. So I've already got a plan to get in your house clearly without waking your ass up. So I'm expecting these dogs to be patrolling. But who knows how these dogs might react? They could, I could punch one, the other one see it, and they both take off running. Or they could both come at full force. You know what I mean?
Right.
And do their best to their ability. But I've been working with dogs and animals far more dangerous and larger than dogs my entire life. So for anybody in the comments like, this nigga crazy, you think that? Well, you come over here and handle an 11-foot cobra, and then we can talk after you do that. But I know that you won't. So It's not like I said. I'm not worried about it. Like I walk the street where I live, bro. We have packs of wild dogs that come around and harass people. There's always stray dogs running this town, bro. I'm the least concerned. I run these dogs off. Come on if you want to. Come on, I'm gonna trap you in my backyard.
You know why though? Over there. You know why, Rain? Because crazy, man.
Oh yeah, for sure. Most of these dogs, but they see me, I just look at them. I walk straight to them. They turn, they take off running. Go ahead. I ain't saying you might not bite me. Yeah, I might let you bite me because just so you could think you got me, now I got you. You ain't really get shit. Most of these dogs running around here are half this, half that anyway. It ain't like it's nothing substantial running around here. So, and in most cases, like I said, like these dogs aren't even going to ever have to preform, where the appearance of the bark is just enough to deter. But if you walk in a presser that's never been trained, but you've been loving on this dog, and a motherfucker try to attack you, there is an 80% chance that dog is going to defend you.
I'm gonna say 100%, Rain, because you know what I seen, man. I seen an older lady get attacked, and I said this before, and she had a golden retriever, and that golden retriever was not no hoe, bro.
Oh, those dogs are nuts, bro. Those dogs, a golden retriever will bite the shit out of you.
Exactly, but see, people don't know that.
I mean, they got the highest bite rate because there's so many of them, but they bite, bro. Yeah, those dogs will bite. Bro, there's like 30 of them in my town, bro. They all got an attitude. They all got an attitude. My homeboy that comes over here, he got one. Him and his baby mama, they got 3 of them between them. They breed them. My other down here is 2 of them, right across the street from each other. So yeah, no, the golden retrievers for sure. But yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
In most cases, bro, a Chihuahua is going to defend its owner. You might get tossed. Yeah, right. He's going to get tossed, but that's not the point. The point is, really, I don't really think you got to train that dog. Like I said, you want to refine it, strengthen the bite, or I get it for stimulation or something like that. Great, but a dog is going to defend. Whether you can look at it like this as because
I agree, right?
I'm still as regardless of what I just said, I'm still going to say this. As far as I'm concerned, the dog is only fucking around you because you got food there. I don't care what anybody says, because I've seen dogs move to other residents. And when I say move, I don't mean somebody gave them away. I mean, this nigga came and got his bowls and his toys and left down the block.
No, I ain't never seen nothing like that, man.
Never came back, bro. Never came back. I can get the guy on right now whose dog it was to tell you this, bro. Because I went over there one day. I'm like, man, where's Tiger at? He's like, man, she moved. I'm like, what? I was like, you gave her away? Like, no, man, she came and got her toys and her dog bowl and moved. She left. She's down the street. She lived at the so-and-so house down there. Like, she's been going down there for like 2-3 weeks. She's like, I guess she liked what they feeding her down there better. So yeah, she packed her shit up and left.
That's hilarious, man.
Bro, on my grandmama, boy, on my abuela. I like, bro, that's crazy. She really left. He like, yeah, bro, she's gone. Damn. So,
now let me ask you this, man. You said something about some new vaccines. I didn't get up on those yet. What new vaccines is out?
Well, they're phasing out all the old vaccines for mRNA vaccines from Pfizer. They should probably be. You work at the veterinary, right? You should probably have some of them in there. They should probably be there.
Not yet. That's why I don't know nothing about them.
Huh?
No.
Yeah,
we still got a fridge of the regular ones.
Let me see. There's an article on it. Yeah, maybe they skipped y'all for now. Or wait, who do you work for though? I mean, is it public or private?
No, it's public.
Is it public? It's not like Banfield or nobody like that, is it?
Nah.
Okay, that's so let me be clear. So
I can't say I did work at Banfield years ago now, though, but I ain't gonna tell my new location.
well, so most of these corporate vets are the ones that have phased into the mRNAs. So when I said public, that's not probably what I meant to say. Like privately owned or publicly owned vet is basically what it is. So these corporate vets like Banfield and some of these other ones, those are the ones who have switched over to the ones when you walk in, like I'll be in DC in Adams Morgan and there's a Banfield right there, like in the middle of the city. Like that vet. They got the mRNA vaccines in there. But eventually, I mean, a private vet, I guess, well, if they phase them all out, it won't be a matter of refusing them if that's all you can buy. But I know they changed all the laws. I used to be able to order vaccines, including rabies shots, to my house. I can't do it no more as of this year. So that's how I know that they're cracking down on the law. You know, that whole thing for
so you can't go on Revival no more and get vaccines?
Revival, Jeffers. Yeah, bro. Anytime I try, they want a script now. You got not without a script. Remember, you used to just be able to order them. The regular dog shots, cat shots. If you lived in certain states, you could order rabies shots. Not anymore. So I got to hit my homie up and who was a vet and have him write me a script when I need something.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they're slowly but surely. Remember IATA? For people who don't know who IATA is,
I know who that is.
Okay, so IATA basically they determine the travel regulations for exotic and domestic animals, commercial. So for a lot of people who didn't know that, IATA, they're the ones who made it so now that it's 6 months old to ship a dog. And so that was one of the subtle changes, another one of the subtle changes that they made to further, it's a blow. Because
it's a big blow.
For
something
it's
going to cost more.
Well, it's going to cost more, but it's also going to deter people because not most people don't want a 6-month-old dog. But here's the thing: that's the minimum age, right? So maybe, I mean, it's all a matter of when I can get the dog to you. So maybe by the time he gets to you, he's 8 months old.
Yeah.
Some people are okay with that. Some people are not. You know what I mean? So
I do.
In this sense, it's like, damn, bro, I don't even get to grow up with him. I missed that bonding time with him because he's been with you for 6, 7, 8 months now. So, that's deterring a lot of people. Like me, I don't mind that. But some people don't, they don't want that. They're like, nah, I want my puppy when he's, 3 months old, 4 months old. Like, I don't want to wait 6 months, 7 months, 8 months. But that's really to deter you. Because eventually, I would say in the next 5 years, bro, we're gonna see like a drastic blow with the animals. I don't know exactly what it is, but it's definitely coming though. It's just been too many exotic animals on the loose, monkeys, piranhas, all over. Obviously, we don't even need to talk about Florida, but Texas, Georgia, North Carolina, California, other places. And then there's rash of dog attacks, pressas, corsos, bullies, band dog. But the media gonna say pit bull every single time.
Absolutely. Every
no matter
time.
what. So, then there's that. And then they just dropped this Monsters of God documentary, which is about the reptile trade. That airs on HBO every Thursday. And so, they're basically showing how bad that shit was and how it started. And so, generally, when Eric Good, this is the same guy that produced Tiger King and produced Chimp Crazy. So every time this dude makes a documentary, laws change. But we'll see, how this goes. It's not, like either way, I'm not worried about it. Like, sure. I'm not going to be swayed to do something by our government who doesn't follow or believe in their own laws. So just to keep it simple there. But yeah, man, there's the animal world is crazy.
The animal world is crazy, bro. But let me tell you this. Let me ask you this. So with these new vaccines, like what are they just replacing? Like what's the ins and out of this thing? Like, because I'm not on this, but trust me, I'm gonna ask questions tomorrow. But like, what's these?
So generally, well, it's just supposed to be the new Pfizer vaccine, right? And so we don't know Pfizer with COVID, obviously. So, in the sense, what is being suggested is that these vaccines are going to further shorten the lifespan of your dogs and cats. But obviously, this is not something that they're going to admit openly. But why would you need an mRNA vaccine on a dog and a cat? You didn't need it for us, but
right,
that's what they're phasing everything into, because think about it, how many people were like, yeah, we're not taking this shot.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? So now that's why they were talking about, oh, we'll just put it in the food, or we'll just spray it in the air, we'll just give it to your dogs or give it to your cats. And so this is the start of that. And I think what's going to happen is they're going to start doubling down on vaccines and really looking at who's doing them and who's not, because they're going to get to the point where it's probably going to get like, if your dog is registered with the state, and this is just hypothetical, but this is how I would do it. If the dog's registered with the state, then I can look and see when its vaccinations are up to date or not. Now, if I got a vaccine that I know is going to decrease the health of your animal, and because animals are a luxury item, let's keep it real. They're a luxury item. I just said there's a food shortage. It's not that there's a food shortage. They're just stealing the food and water, making it look like there's a food shortage. There's plenty of food and water. They're just taking it.
Absolutely.
So if you get people to a point where they're scared, or again, like they did, you start bringing your dogs and your cats in to get these shots, or to the nearest pet vaccination or vaccination tent or wherever in your area, because some mysterious virus pops up. Which, remember, last year
they did that already.
Twice. Yeah. They're like, oh, this is viruses. Well, that's how they do test runs, bro. A lot of people don't even know that, bro. Listen, laws and viruses are the same thing. They work the same way. They write them and make them the same way. They start real subtle. Laws, like you'll get a law for something. People like it'll be a law and it'll start in Philly. And then hypothetically the law will be like, you can't have any more than 2 dogs on your property. This is the law for the state of Pennsylvania, right? And so people who are not in Pennsylvania, like when you say that to them, like, man, did you hear what they just did in Pennsylvania? Like, man, they just made it illegal to have more than 1 dog. And they're like, oh, I don't give a fuck. I don't live in Pennsylvania. What they don't understand is that's where the law starts, but that's not where the law stops. That's why when if you've ever been in like law debates, my cousin's a lawyer, my family has a law firm, so I've sat in on these debates and things like this, and I know a little bit about it. That's why they refer to a law, like you could live in Philly, but they referring to a law, they'd be like Bradford and Smith, California, You see what I'm saying? Because this law started in California, and now they're using it here in Philly in your case. It's the same thing with the virus. They're almost hand in hand of how they write this. It's the same thing, because laws and viruses even work the same way. They attach to you and they get on you, and then you know how it goes after that. So it's the same thing. It's the same part of the system. So if you have a virus out here, or you say that there's a virus out here, people need to bring their dogs in and their cats in to get these shots.
They're going to do it.
Yeah, you're going to do it, because especially if they threaten to take your animals. Listen, these people didn't get in an uproar about nothing that just happened in the government in the last year. Nothing. And I'm going to just say that without having to say anybody's names or events, because we all watch this stuff, right?
Right.
Nobody did nothing. Nobody cares about the kids. We've seen that. Nobody cares about the women, the children, nothing. Nobody cares. Let them start messing with these people's animals. That's going to start the Civil War right there. Start messing with white people's animals.
You're right.
Start telling them you're gonna force them to bring their dogs and cats in to get these unnecessary vaccines because some mysterious virus has popped up, or the dogs and the cats are responsible for the virus. Crazy as it doesn't even sound crazy. I was gonna say as crazy as it may sound, but it doesn't even sound crazy because we just watched it in real time with us. They tried to do it with us. If you read William Cooper's book, he talked about this as well. Behold a Pale Horse, he talked about this. The microchipping of the dogs and the cats and the vaccination. He talked about this. That book was written in 82. He's talking about it then. And now we're seeing it right now. So honestly, we should be out here trying to save pets and raise money to, I don't even know, to fight legislation. I'm not even sure if that's the way to go. But what I was saying is they see pets as a luxury. So food for your dog or your cat or your snake or your bird is not important. It's not important at all. You having these animals is not important to your government. Doesn't matter, of course, right now they can't say that, but they're showing you real subtly. Like, didn't they just do something in Philly? Like, you can't breed without a license anymore. And I'm not saying that that's a bad thing, because it's not a bad thing. They see some of this stuff they should have did 20, 30 years ago in a lot of states. Mm-hmm. There is no defining line between buyer and breeder anymore. Like I said in the beginning, motherfucker go buy a dog, and then that's his first dog ever. 15 minutes later, he's a breeder. We got guys and girls who want to breed animals so bad they'll go get older snakes or older dogs, and then next thing you know, they got a litter. 6 months, they got a litter. And then they arguing with me. Talking about, I don't know what I'm talking about. You ain't bred dogs and you ain't even got no dogs. You ain't.
Hey Ray, let me ask you this, man. Hold on. I'm gonna ask you this. I'm gonna ask you this because we on this. What do you think about people who go out and get these dogs that they probably shouldn't be breeding? And you look at them and you're like, why are you breeding this?
Bro, animal politics, bro, is crazy. I look at, I want to know how you got there. You know what I mean? Like, if you're a real animal lover, I feel like then you should still have a healthy respect. Like, be an animal lover and own some animals and spectate and have a good breeder. And if you are going to breed, ease into that shit. But otherwise, just get a great dog or a great snake or a great cat or a great cow, or niggas is getting goats now and walking around with them in DC. So get a goat and enjoy the goat for it being a goat. You know what I mean? Just enjoy it. Why do you, if you're not a breeder and you haven't been doing it, why do you need to breed animals? Wow. What is your goal? I just want to breed animals and sell them. It's not like you asked me, why do I want to breed cats? Well, I never really thought I wanted to breed cats. But then I started thinking about it, man, I really do like cats. And I would love to have my own line of cat for myself that I created that I can look at every day and say,
right,
this is mine, this is registered. People love my breed of cat. And then if I become famous and rich because of a cat, that's great. But I could care less because I don't eat off of animals like that. You know what I mean?
No. Right.
So I can't be man, I need to breed these animals to pay my bills. Now, at one point in time, I was wholesaling, import and export exotic animals. Yeah, I'm wholesaling, and private broker, client sale, shit like that. But it was in my 20s, bro. I don't even sell reptiles like that anymore. I just talk to people about that stuff now.
So now I'm starting to understand now where all this fear is getting from vaccines, because I'm hearing different breeders talk about they don't vaccinate their dog, or they're not vaccinating their puppies. And I was kind of confused as to why, because a lot of shit is real. Like I
No,
don't even
that's where they get you though, bro. Like you're between a rock and a hard place.
right.
You know what I mean? Because I don't think any of those people are denying like that Parvo isn't the real thing or that Girardi or any, you know what I mean? Nobody is, but people are like, man, but Venom, my dog might not necessarily ever get Parvo and not ever have to have any shots, and he could be fine. And plenty of dogs have done that. You know, have never had a shot in their life and have grown up and have been great, healthy dogs.
But if you kept them in a certain environment, though,
right.
if you taking the motherfuckers around,
it's controlled for sure. It's at least until they're like a year or 2 years old, to where their immune system is. Because let's be honest, most people, even some of the best breeders, like after a year, 18 months, bro, their dogs ain't had no shots in forever. You know what I mean? Like, they're depending on the animal's immune system at that point. And canines are extremely resilient. You know, extremely resilient. So, but yeah, I think that's where people are like, they're like, man, I'll take my chances here because the vet is expensive. And even though insurance is available, most people don't access it. I don't know why.
No, they don't.
I don't know why people don't access pet insurance. You can get
I don't know why.
You can get 50 to 100% of your money back.
Yeah.
Why would you not want to get your money back?
And the AKC has a great pet insurance program. Like, I mean, I've had that.
Bro, from the AKC to lemonade to the fruit punch plan, it's like $7 to $20 at best. MetLife. I had MetLife. You know what I mean? Like MetLife was cool. It was like, well, I think it was like $25 a dog, 80% coverage, $250 deductible. Like, boom. I only used it one time, but I got my money back, 80%,
exactly.
like they said.
But you know, the thing is, man, certain people are not educated and they don't want to educate themselves.
Well, that's why I'm a consultant. If yeah, bro, listen. If people were less lazy, I wouldn't have a job. Right. I wouldn't have a career.
Right.
Because a lot of clients that call me, I'm like, bro, you can do this yourself. Why you keep calling me for this shit? But fuck it, give me the money. You know, if you want to keep calling me for the same thing, like, bro, YouTube, get on YouTube. I'm like telling you not to pay me.
Right.
You know what I mean? Who does that? Like, I'm the best consultant ever. I'm like, bro, you could literally go watch a 5-minute video on YouTube. Or I mean, if you want to pay me $120 to talk about this shit. Mm-hmm. For 15 minutes, like I'm trying not to take your money, but if you feel like, you know, you got to do it, then go ahead.
I'll do it. I'm with you, bro.
So,
I'm with
that's you. That's the thing is, but some people just don't want to do it. A lot of our people, a lot of black people, I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna say it. Niggas is lazy. I don't give a shit. Who gets mad about? I could care less. It ain't gonna change nothing over here. And the reason I say that is because most niggas I know will pay somebody. The average nigga will pay somebody to do damn near everything. And thinking as a flex. Oh, I got a guy for that. Oh, I got a guy for that. So you don't know how to do nothing, huh? You got a guy boil your water, jiggle your balls, wipe your butt. When you get done, you do everything.
Pause.
You got a guy for that. Like, you know, if you don't know how to do something, like, cool, like electrical work, like, yeah, of course, yeah, listen, bro, I don't want you to get electrocuted. That's not, I'm not saying die first in the building the house, but there's something like, bro, like, I'm not a plumber, but I've cut pipes in my, and replaced the shower head valve in my bathroom, in my upstairs bathroom. Like, I go downstairs in my basement and turn my electric water heater off, and get the tool and pull out the elements and drain the 80-gallon tank and clear it out and fill it back up. And you know what I mean? But as niggas I know will pay somebody, they'll call a plumber and paying $400-500 to do something that only cost me $150 to do. So that's why I have a job, because I know guys like this. I know dog breeders like that. Like, oh, I just got a guy to come and like, okay, yeah, you don't want to pick. I don't want to pick up dog shit either. I don't think anybody really does. But these are your dogs. I mean, hey, bro, you want to pay somebody to come and pick your dog shit up? That's cool. There's nothing wrong with that. But now this nigga is he's basically walking the dogs. He's feeding the dogs. He's doing everything with the dog. He's not just picking up shit anymore. You're not doing anything.
I'd rather do that myself.
Right, you're just collecting you're just there to pass off the puppy and get the money. But your guy is doing all the work at this point. And obviously it's not everybody. Like we said, like it's select people. But that's how it is. Like a lot, like even these social medias, like some of these guys, they don't even run their social media page. Is there anything wrong with that? It's not that there's anything wrong with it, bro, but it's like these guys be doing a lot of this and a lot of that, and I'm this and I'm that. And like, well, bro, I feel like that's the reason I didn't do social media. It's because I'm trying to run all that stuff myself, like a team. Like I'm like, there's nothing wrong with networking, but you know, I'm gonna edit and do all this stuff myself, so it can be the way that I want it to be. Whereas, like, I would just, but I'm pretty much one take. Like you only, you know, there's very little editing that ever has to happen in any of the podcasts that I've done. Like even for myself, I do very little editing. You know, I film it and I go. This is what I do every day. I don't have to think about this shit at all. So it's what's happening now is, like I said, it's just this new character, this new personality that has been created. And that's really what you're saying, or what you asked me about in the nutshell when you talk about the breeder or the average person that does this, or why is this happening, is because like if you don't ever remember having conversations about this 20, 30 years ago, 40 years ago, people might not have been talking about this, is because things didn't exist in the capacity that they do right now.
Absolutely. Bingo.
To where somebody can take one picture of their dog in a great position, snarling or whatever, and it gets all these views, and then they use that and they feed off of that, and then they bring people in. It becomes a gimmick at that point. And now they paid $1,000 for their puppies, but they're charging you $5,000. This is their first litter. And they don't even have anything. They're not even working with line bred stuff from a great breeder. It's just, I'll end up with these dogs. Or they bought a dog from this big name breeder, right? And obviously he's going to try to run the show because he want to use the dog for his program. So you buy the dog from this person, and then you basically got to use it where and how this person dictates. Yep. You know, and then they make sure they got to get their hand in there. They probably getting shit cut off the top you don't even know about. So, yeah, bro, it's a crazy world dealing with these animals, man.
No, you ain't lying.
And the more exotic, I say this all the time, the more exotic the animal, the more exotic the danger. The dog world and the cat world is soft compared to all this other stuff. That's why you ain't seen no documentaries on this shit like Tiger King or Chimp Crazy or the reptile industry. Because this shit is, compared to that, the dog world is real soft. It's real mild. Like now, niggas has just been able to talk shit to each other because of social media. These reptile and these cat people, they've been killing each other for decades.
Beloved, I ain't gonna lie to you, man. I'm so glad people leave me out of the nonsense, man. Like, I'm so glad people don't talk about Duro, and when they talk about Duro's in a DM versus, you know, Instagram or YouTube videos and all this and all that, man, because it's one of those things where it's like, it's so soft, bro. You're never gonna see these guys. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Guys is thousands of miles away, and they'll say, you know, this, that, and the third. But, you know, for real, deep down inside, bro, if you was to see them, they wouldn't stand on half of the stuff that they say out their mouth in their videos.
For sure. No, for sure. I wholeheartedly believe that. I was talking to that about somebody else today. I'm like, bro, if I popped up on this dude at a reptile show, he'd shit his pants.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Because I don't even go to reptile shows. But like, bro, after all the shit you've been saying, I might have to take me a trip to Tinley just to see what's going on with you. Like, but that's what it is, bro. This, you know, Pimp C said it best. He talk a lot of shit from a safe place, and that's what it is. And but some people are more crazy than others. Like we saw that guy in Vegas ran up on that couple. They were beefing on social media. He
shot them all up.
Put them both. Like, that's crazy.
That's what people don't understand.
There wasn't even over no animals.
No, that was him trolling. That was him trolling. Yeah.
So, bro, I've had people try to invite me on their podcast, and I'm talking about big name podcasts, like 750,000, 1 million subscribers, try to invite me on their podcast to come and badmouth somebody personally that I don't even know. And I'm like, nah, bro, I'm only here to talk about animal politics, the good and the bad of that. I don't know these people personally, bro. I'm not like, we could sit and we can talk shit about programs and this, that, and the other. You can call me stupid, moron, you're not a good breeder all day. I don't care about that. Like, but you know, these guys, they want to, when they don't got no dirt on you or they can't say anything about you, then they take it to another level.
Yeah.
Your mama, your wife, your daughter, your son, like that shit is corny. And that's why I feel like it, you know, these guys, that stuff is soft, man. That stuff is soft. Like, it's really it's a tragic comedy that's where we are right now. Is that, I mean, you'll have guys who are, or people who are like, they're friends with you 1 second and then they're talking the same shit in reverse about you to a whole nother group of people. Like, oh, y'all fuck with dude. Like, that's crazy. You just fucking with me 48 hours ago.
That's how it go, bro. That's why I don't get close to people. Like, if I got a relationship with somebody that I met via YouTube or the dog, the dog community, man, I always take a step back because you just never know. Like, like virtually, I've been punched in the face by a couple people. You know what I'm saying? So, like, it's one of those things. It's like, dang, man, like, you know me, I show love. Like, I don't do none of that hating, none of that backstabbing, none of that. I don't do none of that. So for me, where I come from, because I'm such a genuine, real person, you know what I'm saying? Like, when you show me that about yourself, it kind of make me be like, nah, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I can't vibe with you the same how we used to vibe. You know what I'm saying? Because of the simple fact that you did some sucker stuff before. And it didn't have to go that way, whether it was a disagreement or misunderstanding or whatever the case is. But you're going to know who always take the man route and who take the coward route. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And well, I mean, I feel like there's the thing, like, if you do a podcast, a dog-related podcast on rabies, and then somebody has a problem with it, like, I thought this person's supposed to, if anything, you hit the thumbs down button, leave a comment. I disagree with it. If he got a channel, then you go and make a video, not about somebody's mama or their boyfriend or their girlfriend or their financial situation that you probably don't even know. You're supposed to go make a podcast about why what he said about rabies is incorrect.
Right.
And this is why. That's what's supposed to happen.
Right.
That doesn't happen all. It does happen sometimes, but it doesn't happen all the time. Like, you know, and so that's why I was like, bro, like, how are you going to ask me to come on a podcast and talk about somebody that I don't even know? I'm like, I'm definitely not going to do that. Like I said, again, I always tell people, like, I'm here to debate the politics. Like, I could care less about all that other stuff. My goal, like, you know, people ask me, like, oh, what's the best breed of dog? Whatever one works for you. Like I said, like, who's the best pit bull breeder? Bro, first of all, when you really think about that, it's subjective, but that's not even a real question.
Right.
When you think about that, who's the best animal breeder? That's not really it's not a real question. And the reason it's not a real question is because, one, the act of breeding is performed by the dogs. The only thing man did was you selected the dogs that you wanted to be there. So making you a good breeder is having a good eye to say that if you're breeding a dog to standard, then you bred the best dog to standard. You put with the other dog who was good to that standard as well. Right. Not hard to do. I'm not saying that trying to take that away from anybody, but who is the best breeder? Like, oh, if I've been breeding my yard for 20, 30 years, bro, it's going to be easy for me to breed good dogs. I know all my dogs. Does that make me the best breeder? No, it just makes me a guy that's good at putting. It makes me a person who is good at maybe breeding my stock on my yard to get what I want by my standard of the breed or type of dog that I have. But who is the best pit bull breeder? I don't fucking know. Who knows? Who's the best Doberman breeder? Why? Like, what makes somebody the best breeder? Oh man, his dogs were da 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 da. But
It's all an opinion. It's all an opinion.
Well, like I said, it's subjective, but it's more to that question needs to be reworded in a new way. I don't have the exact words for it, but it needs to have a new form. Like who are some of the best presser breeders? Like guys get on the show. I mean, they get their dog, they go to the show, they run around the circuit, they win. Does that make them the best breeder? No, they had the better dog. Their dog was better than the other dogs. Like this guy might not even be a breeder. He just got a nice looking show dog. So is he in that category because his dog is so? But what about the guy who just maybe studs his dog 1 or 2 times and he produces, and that dog produces phenomenal puppies when he's bred? Is he the best breeder? He ain't really doing nothing. He's just sending some semen somewhere. He don't got a yard. He got 1 dog. Is he the best breeder? I don't fucking know. I don't know. Who got the best press? People ask me that all the time. I'm like, bro, I don't know how to really answer that question. Now, if you asking me whose dogs are tested, whose dogs are proven, what's the price? What would you spend if you had to buy a dog? Why would you go there? And this is why. Like, I still can't say this guy is the best because ain't nobody really the best, bro. It's like everybody like, oh, I'm number 1. Well, 0 comes before 1 anyway. So maybe we should all be 0s and not be 1s. Isn't that funny? When motherfuckers start counting, they always start with 1.
Yep.
But they with 10, you have, you know what I mean? But 0 is the first number and 9 is the last number, which creates the functionality of 10, this numeral 10. You have 10 fingers, 10 toes. It's 10 spheres on the tree of life. But that's a whole nother show.
Whole nother show, bro. Whole nother show. Nother show, man.
You know what I mean? Like, so I can't really answer that. I can tell you who's doing what based off what I know or what I don't know. You know what I mean? I can tell you like, well, I would never like, oh, who wouldn't you buy a dog from? I wouldn't fuck with this guy. I wouldn't fuck with so-and-so and then just leave it at that. No, I'm gonna be like, yo, listen, bro, I wouldn't buy a dog from this guy. And I'm probably gonna talk, I'm long-winded. I'm probably gonna talk to you for about 3-4 hours on why I wouldn't buy a dog from this guy. It's not just gonna be because he's some shit. Oh, because I don't fuck with him. Because his mama's fat. You know what I mean? That's why I wouldn't buy a dog from him. Because he's taller than me. Fuck, I don't know. Whatever. Like, no, right? Like, but there's not a lot of reasoning. There's not a lot of reasoning. There's not a lot of research. There's not a lot of respect. All them R's right there. You know what I mean? Like, it's the reasoning. It's like I was saying about how people want to talk about who were legends in the dog game or the dog world, but then at the same time will insult someone when you get mad at him. Or if you don't want to hear, oh, this guy ain't bred dogs in 10 years. What does he know? So he ain't bred dogs in 10 years, but he bred dogs for 60 years. You only bred dogs for 5 years. What do you know?
Right.
And another problem is the fangirl. See, there's so many elements to this that make things valid.
Talk about the minions.
It becomes fiction, and fiction becomes fact, and you know how it goes. You can't turn the light on unless you can turn it off. That's because you have people chanting in the crowd, whether it's they don't even know, because he said it's true, it must be true. So it's like, these guys keep making all these racist comments about me, these reptile guys. A guy made a comment today. He said, Rain is the Kanye West of the reptile world without the success. Well, first of all, I'm not even black, so that's racist. You know what I mean? I'm mixed. I don't identify as black or this or that. I'm of mixed descent. When you ask me to break it down, I'm gonna break it down. So I'm Kanye West of that's racist on top of all the other stereotypical racist comments that were made before. So
I got you.
So you see what I'm saying? So it's like, the reason I'm saying that when I'm talking about there's no reasoning, and then you get all these people to like it, like, yeah, I know, right? Ha 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 ha. Yeah, it's so true. It's so true because my mentor said it. Like, that's where we are right now.
Yeah, that's exactly where we are right now.
So if I say something, rebel, then everybody, so then means anything that anybody says is got to be true then.
Yep.
Or if I say that what you're saying is a lie, then it also has to be a lie. We're never going to get anywhere if that's the case. Just because you say it doesn't make it true, or just because you say it doesn't make it true.
Hey, man, that's something that, you know, we get that all the time, bro. Like, I see that all the time. Like, just because a person they say it, they think it's true. And I tell people all the time when I do my shows, whether I do it with my brothers or I do it by myself, I tell people all the time, like, if you know something more than me, you know, let it be known. Like, I mean, I'm not a know-it-all. Like, we can, you know what I'm saying, be like what we doing right now. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't know nothing about no new vaccines, but I'm not going to act like I know something about some new vaccines just because I'm in the vet field. You know what I'm saying?
Well, people who aren't even in the vet field, who don't know anything about vaccines, they'll do one or two things. They'll either pretend that they do, or they'll Google it really quickly and then pretend that they do.
Nah.
Like, you know, I get a lot of people who want to debate with me, and then they're literally reciting what they just Googled.
Right.
I'm like, bro, you're literally reading the Google AI right now.
This is all my notes, man. I tell people all the time, I do my shows, I write down key points of what I'm talking about in my shows. And I said this before. I had a guy comment on the last show that I did talking about, you sound like you reading. I said, listen, beloved, I don't have to read. I can put my camera on. I chose not to. I can put my camera on and look at all the interviews that I did with my camera on talking about knowledge. What are you talking about, bro?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, people just be wanting to, you know, discredit people. And I get that a lot. Whether it's about breedings, whether it's about, you know, health or whatever the case is, they feel like, oh, yeah, well, why should we listen to you? Because you're in the vet field. Why you should listen to me is because I got years and years of history and information about dogs. I am a student about dogs. Like, I'm not just a guy who just reads something real quick on Google or a book and then come on my platform and try to teach people like other people do. We ain't gonna say no names. But at the same time, I got what I got. I know what I know. You know what I'm saying? And you can't, but I'm not saying that everything I say, you know, is going to be 100% right because I said it. I can make a mistake. I can misspeak. You know what I'm saying?
For sure, bro. Now, right now, everybody is on the social media kick, bro. It's like, I hate to keep saying it. Like, almost every podcast I go on, I'm like, well, hell, we're on social media right now. You know, like, that's what it is. Like, everybody is trying to make a buck, and if animals are the way, and they got to be exploited for some people, that's what they're gonna do. Like, even like with these Bengal cats, like, bro, people they're all over the place. They're making you think that getting an F1 Bengal is the way to go. That's not the way to go. Like, especially for somebody who has no experience with wild cats at all. You're getting an animal that is 50% wild, and you're bringing it into your home, and it's got some unpredictability about it. You don't know what can happen. You hope
at all
it can happen. You know what I mean? You don't want something to happen, but you got to try to plan for it. The problem is these guys, they don't plan either. They just say, oh, this is what they do. They go buy the cat. Oh, I just spent $20,000 on my F1 Bengal. Yay! And then a year later, they're like, yo, my F1 Bengal Fluffy, like, did this, did that, da-da-da-da-da. And then eventually, like, I couldn't handle it and I had to get rid of it. Right. Or I had to call the cat whisperer. Or, you know, but you thought, like, no, I don't want to get an F5 Bengal, a more domesticated Bengal, because that's not as cool. It's not as appealing. Plus, I'm going to put this on YouTube. It's not as cool. So basically what's happening in the midst of that is animals are also getting downplayed. So it's like you have F1, F2, F3, F4, F5, F6, and beyond, and there's some difference in there. There's difference in DNA, there's difference in look, there's difference in price. And so we all know that if you pay more for it, then that means I'm rich and I'm flashy and yeah, look at me. You know what I mean? Look at me, little puppet. So that's how they play it. Like, I got this, you can't afford it, maybe you can, and I'm going to be a breeder and I'm going to sell Bengals for $20,000, $40,000, you know, even though I don't know what the hell I'm doing, because I'm on social media and I saw somebody else do it, so now I'm going to do it. And I'm going to probably produce some of the most poorly bred Bengals ever, because I'm just here for the money. I don't know nothing about cats, let alone this cat. I don't care who buys these cats as long as they got what I'm asking for. That's all I care about. That's the attitude we're dealing with right now. That's all. I don't care about this person or that person. This dude could be homeless. If you got the $5,000 and I'm asking, here's your cat, buddy. You know what I mean? That's what it is. Yeah. I could care less if this cat ends up in the trash can in a year, because I already got my money for it. I'm on to my fifth litter already.
That's how they are.
I'm going, you know what I mean? So but also what I was also saying is they're making the more unaffordable cat popular, when if you are going to get a Bengal, the cat you need in your house is the F4, the F5, and the F6, which they're still not cheap. You know, you could find a Bengal for $300 to $3,000, anywhere in that price range, in an F4 beyond. Right? Of course. So, but they're making it to where that animal is useless and nobody wants to buy him because it's not an F1 or even maybe an F2, because he doesn't have that much wild DNA and that look. So now animals are getting left behind. So if you've got anything less than an F3, you may not even be able to sell what you got.
Right.
And you're just trying to breed, and you could be the best cat breeder ever, but you ain't nobody ever going to get your stock, because this clown over here on YouTube with 1 million followers and his 6 months in the game, because it's in there, everybody's the game, the dog game, the cat game. He's in the game. He's balling out of control over here because he's got more followers than you. But this dude can't even pronounce the scientific name of the cat that he's got. But hey, who cares about that? You know, and his girlfriend do OnlyFans on top of that. So they don't even really need that much. That's okay. A lot of that. A lot of animal people are, you know, they do that too. So, you know, it's wild, bro. Like, I'm like, man, why is there camel toe in this reptile video? And dogs, man. And dogs. This is like, then do you always fish in a G-string? Like, that is I ain't never seen nobody walk their dog in a swimsuit.
You ain't lying though. You ain't lying, man.
Maybe if we was on the beach somewhere, that would make sense because they brought the dog with them. But lady, you are in the city.
Man, that's what the algorithm wants to see, though, and that's what the algorithm pushes. You know what I mean? If you make a video with a woman and, you know what I'm saying, you just put a woman in a bikini with a nice butt, you know, in the beginning of the video, that joint gonna do some numbers.
For sure.
That's just how it works. You know?
Yeah, it's a dog eat dog world. I guess.
Sure, brother. For sure, bro.
Yeah, man. I like I said, that's why I kind of just veered off and was like, I'm gonna do my own thing. Well, I'm always doing my own thing, but I just totally separated. Let me just take a whole break. Like I said, like I'm not really a part of any of those communities, but it's draining. I've done a lot of podcasts. I get a lot of messages. I get it on social media and off social media. I got like 20 here that I got to answer when we get off of here. So it's constant. And it's nothing wrong. Like, I enjoy talking to people about animals and things like that. But it's definitely draining. You know, I do my best not to you know, like I said, to go beyond, you know, what my policy states is. I'm just here to talk about animal politics. And that's why when we were talking about this, I'm like, bro, like, really, I don't really have nothing anymore breed specific or like that to even really talk about anymore at this point. Like, I'd rather just come on and just shoot the shit and have some general animal talk or dog talk or whatever it is. Because like I said, I can't answer these questions. And no, I don't think anybody should be trying to answer these questions. Because when you really look at it, like, everybody is at everybody's throat. Everybody is at war. You got network here, beefing with this network and this network here. Man, mostly all these motherfucking networks some shit at the end of the day.
Real talk, bro.
Like
Real
at the end of it, like, shouldn't it just be like 1 or 2 grand dog networks and like motherfuckers like even you're working together, even if you're disagreeing. Like I would think people would be like Eric Lawton did a smart thing. Like he started a registry, off of his channel. Like that's a smart thing to do. You got 40,000 people subscribed to your channel. Try to get a few thousand of them to
buy into what you got. Yeah,
that's what it's about, and that's what they need to be doing. Rather worried about somebody's mama, why don't you go try to start a registry for a new breed club for your new Merle Dobermans, or for your XXXXXXXL pocket bully. You know what I mean? That's what they should be doing. That's what I would be doing, because you know why? Most of these podcasts, bro, they're not even making money on these podcasts.
I know.
And obviously, if you just started out, cool. Nobody's gonna. You gotta get your momentum going. It takes some time. But some of these guys got. They've been struggling.
But they acting like they're getting it though.
Who treat it like for day job? This is your day job. Like, you go to the vet. So obviously, you're not dependent on this podcast for really anything other than to talk to people, because your profession,
the love of the animals. Yeah.
Right. Your profession lies when you go to work and clock in. And there's I've said this before, people get mad. I'm like, bro, I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with clocking in, but what I'm saying to people, like, if your profession where you clock in don't involve animals, like you better be careful what you're saying to me.
Right.
I don't give a fuck what kind of animal it is. If you don't wake up and you clock in at a vet or a zoo or an animal shelter, or you know what I mean, you better be real careful before you say something to me, because I've been waking up doing this shit since I was 4 years old. You know what I mean? Like, this is my life, and I've already proven that shit. You know what I mean? So I would love to see more people take this shit serious rather than take social media serious. That's what they're taking serious. They're not taking the animal serious. They're taking social media as now their job. Now, if you're not a dog breeder and you're doing, listen, bro, everybody's got a different situation. But in general, everybody seems like they want to have a podcast, and everybody's this, everybody is that. Like, you trying hard, and, I seen a guy's stats today. He had like 15,000 subscribers, but the views, the money he only was making between $172 and $478 for the month. Now, something is better than nothing, but this nigga puts out 10 shows a week.
Not who, but
it's a reptile guy. This nigga that
how
said,
you know that though?
This nigga name is Michael Juarez. His show is called Trap Talk. This shit is garbage, bro. You can look at the view. You ain't getting no views.
But how you know how much the man makes?
Oh, I got eyes everywhere. So that number, look, this let me that way so they will know that I ain't exaggerating, because I don't gotta do that. Hold on. Yeah, I will show you right here. Can you see that in the camera? Hold on. Can you see what that say? See that? The number, is it showing up?
I can't see it. It's a little small.
Hold on. Let me zoom in on it. I'm going to show you the number right there. 172 to 478 for the month.
Yeah.
Right? And here's the thing. Here's the address right there, right? Trap Talk. So, yeah.
Oh, man.
So, this motherfucker putting out, he put out literally 10 videos a week and still can't catch the last podcast I did a month ago. It's crazy. But yet does a podcast and say, I don't get any numbers. Nobody knows who I am. And I'm lying about, my reptile. Get the fuck out of here, bro. You're a clown. You're a clown. So, yeah, bro, that's what I'm saying. Like, he worried about the wrong stuff. Like, I'm over here I'm over here about to get my house appraised so I can buy a second house off of this house. And I got this dude over here, Mr. Circus Clown, making secret racist podcasts about me. And he ain't even 400. He's getting between 170 and $480 between. I'm pretty sure I made more than that yesterday, and I didn't even leave my house. And I don't have no social media. You know that. Everybody knows that. So,
right.
I was like, that's crazy, bro. I have more.
Right.
I'm not even gonna. Bro, I stack metal over here, so I don't know these guys, bro. And that's what I'm saying. Like, you talking shit about somebody you don't even know, and there's a lot of that. These guys need to be starting breed clubs and new registries, and because people talk about AKC, like AKC is allowing paper hanging, and that's true, they are. So, okay, why are you going to talk shit about AKC? AKC making still, regardless of how you feel about them, they still going to make $100 million a year, and you not. So why don't you formulate a registry that don't paper hang and make some money instead of worried about who got the best fucking American bully? Like, bro, these niggas is trying to compare. They still trying to compare Pressas and Corsos. You're trying to compare a running dog to a fighting dog. Like, what the fuck? Like, come on, man. Stop it. I mean, listen, you can do what you want. You can do whatever. You can do whatever you want.
Yeah.
But, you know, I mean, some stuff, man. Like, come on. You compare a running dog to a running dog. Like, is a Corso a better dog than a Pressa? Nigga, I don't know. I don't know. Is it a better dog or not? Nobody knows this shit, bro. Nobody knows it. You're never going to be able to prove which one of them dogs are better, especially if Tamika like Pressa's better and Sarah like Corso's better. I don't fucking know.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, bro. You know, it's like,
man,
ask a valid question.
I know.
ask. That's the thing. Like, you know, I love coming on people's shows, and I love doing podcasts. You know, like it, but I hate it at the same time. Yeah, I really do. And you know, I got a lot of unreleased stuff too. But you know me, I like to challenge anybody, whether I'm on your show or you. When I had a channel, or you on my show, you know, I like to challenge and be challenged. But you know. Right at this point, bro, they're not even really making it exciting for me anymore, like at all. They don't even try.
That's because you way more advanced, man. And I was just saying this on a show that I did. Like, you know, when I do my podcast, man, I gotta be. It's not a lot of people that can follow and understand 100% what I'm saying. So sometimes I gotta water it down some for people to be able to follow. You know what I'm saying? So I noticed the same thing about yourself. Like, me and you can have a conversation, bro. And you know what I'm saying? We won't lose each other because of the knowledge that we have. You know what I mean? The awareness that we have. You know what I'm saying? So we don't lose that you know, the conversation. It stays, like, it flows. You know what I'm saying?
No, for sure, bro. I agree. I think at this point people need to focus on being better dog owners than dog breeders. You know, better handlers, better at getting a bond with your animal, and really worried about where these animals are going. You know, why they're going there, what's going to happen with them. Like, you know, I talk to breeders all the time, and they're like, oh man, and I've heard stories of other people like, man, you know, some of my best work is just sitting in somebody's backyard as a pet. And there's nothing wrong with that dog necessarily being there as a pet. I mean, he's having a great life. But it's like, damn, bro, you put in a whole lot of work, you know, or you know, time, effort, cleaning up shit, walking dogs, kennels, all that stuff. You know, sell the dog for this amount of money to a family home when that dog should have went to a breeder.
Right.
But why did the dog go to a breeder? Maybe he pressed for space. He needed the money. I don't know. He had to get it. He had to get rid of. He had to, you know, say get rid of him, but he had to get him off the yard. Maybe that's why the dog ended up there. You know,
you never know somebody's situation. Yeah, you never know.
Right? Who knows? Like I said, the dog. If in hypothetical, it's a real hype situation, but hypothetically, the dog's not being abused. So at the end of the day, who gives a shit? You know, the dog is happy. The owners are happy. You know, but this dog could have went on to, you know, be a progenitor of 5 or 6 more great bloodlines down the road, you know, offshoots of himself. and he's not going to get the chance to do that because whatever the situation may be. But if under normal circumstances, a dog like that just ends up in a family home, like I got to kind of wonder, like,
right.
do you are you just selling dogs just to be selling them? Because
a lot of them are.
I know people who just breed and sometimes they just end up with great dogs. You know, they just breed around. They ain't got no rhyme or no reason to what they're doing. They don't even really care about it. They just having litters. This is what they just, we having a litter, trying to make, we got puppies for sale. I'm talking about like every 6 months they got a litter. They're selling. They're making money. This is what they do. That's it. Mm-hmm. Nothing else. And I mean, they're putting out every once in a while, they'll throw out some decent dogs. Obviously, they're not, the health of these dogs declines over time. They're not really paneling or checking these dogs or anything like that. But at the same time, I think about 75% of motherfuckers who breed dogs and cats don't do that shit anyway.
Yeah, but that's the motherfucker. I hate the curse, man, but that's the people that's the problem. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you're the most right now. The majority of your breeders are people who were buyers and probably had no intention on breeding, but they watched the documentary TV video and the dude said he made $10,000 on every stud fee. And so that's what they were like, $10,000? Who do you think you kidnapped? Chelsea Clinton? So they saw that. Guy was like, I seen a guy on there who was like micro bully. He got the dog, but he was homeless. I'm like, Nick, how the fuck do you get a dog and you was homeless? Okay, well, that's a mystery in itself. But how do you afford a dog like that and you were homeless? But then he's like living in this nice house in Florida, and he's like the dog put him there off a stud fee.
Mm-hmm.
So this dude don't know dogs from cats for real at the end of the day.
Nah.
But he made $2-3 million. Or you open up, what was that old Bully magazine they used to have? Do they still got that Bully magazine? I don't know what it was called.
I know what you're talking about.
Used to be a big oversized magazine. I used to see it in the books because they don't have bookstores for real like that anymore.
Nah.
But you open that up and you see this dog in there in Saudi Arabia for $500,000. Bro, motherfucker see that and be like, oh man, yeah, I need $5,000 too. Next thing they know, they on their website talking about, we have just raised the price from $1,500 to $15,000. You know what I mean? $5 million. So that's how they do you. Like that's crazy. So.
And there's people that lie too. Like they'll be like, "Oh man, my dogs, my dogs go for $45,000, but for real, there might be a food here, food there that give them $5,000, but for real, them dogs going for $1,000, $1,500, man.
Oh yeah, well, it's that pick of the litter. Every puppy that left was pick of the litter. I've talked about that a million times. I don't use words like runt or pick of the litter. I don't think those words are realistic or fair at all because pick of the litter, like puppies play catch up for like the first 3-4 months of their life with each other. So this so-called runt or pick of the litter could turn into the worst puppy out of the litter at the end when it's all said and done. And that runt, and we
could be the best.
Could turn into the best puppy, the best dog, going to be the best dog, one of the best dogs out of the litter. So, but I know breeders that they got 10 puppies on the yard, and 10 people gonna get pick of the litter 10 times.
Yep.
You know what I mean? I'm like, damn, why didn't you keep pick of the litter yourself? Why wouldn't you keep it? Why wouldn't you keep it?
You know why?
Keep asking them that. Why wouldn't you keep it?
You know why?
You said why, but why wouldn't you keep it? Just keep asking them that shit. Why? But listen, bro, I just want to know why you didn't keep it.
Why you didn't keep it? Oh my gosh, man!
Like if it was the best pup in the litter, why you didn't keep it? Because if I had the best pup in the litter, like man, this is the best pup in the litter, bro. I'm keeping this one.
Right.
Like I'm keeping it because I'm
sometimes it does.
Go ahead.
No, sometimes it does happen. Like sometimes it is some dogs, some pups that's the best pick in the litter, and the breeder end up selling it, and then have that seller's remorse. Like, why did I sell that
Yeah.
dog?
Or I got to give it to somebody that I know. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not
So I can
keeping
use
it. Before I sell it to a stranger, I got to call one of my people. Like, bro, I got a pup here, man. I can't keep him, but I really need to, man. You want him? You know what I mean? Like that situation. And I think that's also a part of programming, is having people, like, if you're in the bullies or presses or whatever, I feel like, bro, if you're really taking it serious, like, you programming, you selling dogs to people, you asking people for money, like, bro, you should have at least 4 or 5 other people that are on the same, that are in the same book with you. You may not necessarily have to be on the same page, but y'all are in the same book. You know what I mean? Like, so that way you can feed off of each other and help each other out. Because you're going to have new people coming in and then old people. You know? So especially, like, if you're building a dog breed from the ground up, like, that's especially important. Like, who the fuck going to keep 6,000 dogs?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, that's a realistic number, because you're making a breed from the ground up. You know how many fucking litters you're gonna have until you get to where you think that's what you want?
Yep.
Maybe. Like, then you have to backtrack on something. I hope you writing this shit down. You're gonna be like Louis Doberman. His ass didn't write nothing down. So now the dog, the Doberman is like the Doberman and the English Bulldog are the most genetically unsound
messed up dog
on the planet. And they can't even help either one of them, because one, they don't know what Louis Doberman even did in the beginning, because he didn't write anything down. So they can't even breed back and figure out, like, how to help the dog. And then the English Bulldog, excuse me, I'm really surprised that dog is still even in existence.
Yeah, me too.
That dog draws a parallel with the ball python, where the ball python is strictly being bred for faults and mutations. The English Bulldog is strictly being bred for faults. And now that's another one that comes in new colors.
I seen.
The English Bulldog got all the blues and tries and all, all that stuff, now. So, all it is it's just about money. Anytime I see somebody with those dogs, there's a guy in my town, he got a Merle Chihuahua.
A Merle Chihuahua?
Yeah. Wow. Most likely it was probably crossed with one of those Dachshunds that's Merle, and then back into a Chihuahua for the breed back. So yeah, it's people are just, nobody cares anymore, man. It's just how much money can I make and how fast can I get it.
That's all it's about. It's about that dollar, man.
The real dog breeders used to tell me all the time back in the day, like, bro, I hope you got money saved up, because you ain't gonna make no money here unless you got a product or some kind of awesome training course, like Dog Whisperer. That's why he's so rich. Name one dog breeder that got more money than Cesar Millan. I'll wait. Off of dogs. Off of dogs. Not that your family was a millionaire and they left. Now, fuck all that. Name one dog breeder that got Cesar Millan money off of dogs or off of breeding dogs. You can't. No. There are none. Profit. Not just $1 million. I'm talking about he's a million. He's making that money profit. Nobody. The only people that are making money in the dog world that are really making money are the dog food people, the vitamin people, dog trainers like Cesar Millan. That's it. They got a product. Or I don't want to call it a gimmick, but they got a product and some kind of skill. Same thing with the reptiles. People selling reptiles, bro, ain't really making that money like that. The people that make the money are the wholesalers and the people that breed the rats, the mice, and the roaches and the crickets. People breed roaches making $20,000 a month.
Come on, man. People breed roaches, bro.
Oh yeah, that's a high commodity in the reptile world, bro. Like if you ever want to make money immediately, you just within you just go get some red runner roaches and keep them at 80 degrees for 6 months and feed them and clean them. You'll start making money immediately. You get on eBay right now and look at red runner roaches or crickets and see how many of them are in carts. We do that here. That's why when motherfuckers be saying shit, that's why I just be looking at them. Bro, like, are you serious, bro? I made like $6,000 this month and I didn't even do nothing. Like profit. You sold a whole litter of puppies, made $45,000, but then you had to factor in this, and this. At the end of it, we made the same.
Yep. You're right.
You know, unless you just not taking care of your yard, you're not feeding your dogs properly or whatever. That means you're just ripping people off and you're breeding bullshit. If you're making, you know, the only situation where I can see anybody really turning a profit breeding dogs is if you own your land flat out, you own your house flat out, you don't have no car payments, you own solar power, you got a water well, you farming,
right?
So you don't got to go nowhere,
right?
The only bills you got is a cell phone and some and some streaming services. But it costs to farm. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So you got to think about but let's just say you breed in whatever. And so you breed, let's say you had 2-3 litters a year, every other year, and you make $100,000 total. But yeah, you are getting that money because you own everything. Now you're not getting all of it because you own everything. If you're feeding your dogs off that farm, you got to take that. Yeah, the solar power may be free, but at the same time, all that shit needs maintenance.
Yep.
You know, shit in your house, you still got to put gas in your car. If your dogs are your business, then that means everything you do in that house, including the mortgage, you know, whether you have a mortgage or not, but in that situation, there's no mortgage, but it ties into that dog. So if the water heater goes out, you got to get that shit fixed immediately. You can't fuck around. If your windows get busted out, you got to get them fixed immediately.
Yep.
And that's the same thing if you just live in and think about it like this, if you own versus rent and you're not in the situation that I just described and you own your property and you still got your mortgage and whatnot and your business is run out of your house, how much money are you really making when you factor in your utility bills for the year?
Yeah, and everything else.
Because for the fact that your business is in your house, everything you do in that house is directly affecting that business and vice versa. Every time you eat, every time you flush the toilet, every time you turn the lights on and off, every time something breaks, that affects your profit because your business is in there.
Yep.
So how much money are you really making at that point? Like, I think that's another thing. Like, I'm starting to think people don't even understand the difference between the profit that they're making versus the money that they put in there to get there.
Yeah.
All that you gotta be able to separate all that stuff. You can't be like, oh yeah, I made $200,000 this year, but your mortgage is $100,000.
Right.
Your light bill for the year was, you know, who knows? You got gas. If you got car payments, all of that stuff goes right into there. So by the end of it, like I said, and this is only if your business, if you rent and your business is in your home. Now, if you own and your business is in your home. Now, if you rent and your business is in your home, then hell, you ain't got to cut grass. You ain't got to, you might have free utilities to a certain point. You know what I mean? Like you don't have to maintain anything. Water heater breaks, windows break. That's not your problem.
Yeah.
But you're limited because this rental property may say, hey, yeah, you can't even run.
You can't have dogs. Yeah.
Well, that too, but you can't even run a business in here. This is my
you can't run a business. Yeah. Yep.
So now you're limited. So now you could be operating under the radar. So then what happens if you get in trouble? Now you lose everything. Now you got to move. So that fucks up everything for you.
Yep.
The reason I'm saying that is because I know guys who were breeding dogs in rental properties and the landlord was like, whoa.
Yep. Me too.
Whoa. You ain't even ask.
All them dogs went to the shelter, man.
So, you know, you got to think about this stuff, man. You see people on the social media, you know, they got land, they got this. Like, bro, that ain't your situation, bro. You got to live within your means.
That's right.
You got to live within your means, man. You can't, and I get it, but it is a kind of a childish mindset because I get it. And when I think about it, I'm like, that's how I felt when I was 14, 15, 16 years old. Like, I couldn't wait. Like, I would get Dog World magazine, or I would get Reptile magazine, and I would see the snake or the dog in there that I wanted, and I needed it right then and there. I wanted it, I had to have it because I felt like if I didn't, I wasn't going to be able to get it in the future.
Right.
You know, I understand that. But I had to, you know, I was a kid then. I had to let that go. So then I'll have to, if I couldn't get what I want, then I have to settle. This dog is $500, but I only got 3. Like, fuck, I really don't want this $300 dog. I want the $500 dog. So what do I do? Do I save my money, or do I just fuck it? I got to get me a dog because I already told so-and-so I'm about to get a dog. So when they come over here and be like, oh, you thought you was getting a dog. Like, oh, no, you know, whatever. You know how it was when you were a kid. You said you getting a dog, nigga. You ain't. So
that peer pressure.
Peer pressure. So, like, fuck it, man. I'm just going to get this little $300 dog. Then you get the dog. You're not happy with the dog. Because, like you said, it wasn't the dog you wanted. But you felt like if you didn't get the dog then and there, you was going to lose your chance in life.
Yep.
Life was going to be over if you didn't get this dog.
Yep.
And here's my thing. With reptiles, that's where that mentality came from, because with reptiles, it kind of is like that. You may not ever see that species of snake again, or you may see it like a Dipsis maculatus came in recently. Well, that's the first time I've seen a Dipsis come in I don't even know how long. Over 10 years. It's been that long. It's no point in me buying that animal because it's no telling if or when another Dipsis will come in. The likelihood of another Dipsis coming in, and it was only one that came in. So, like, immediately, like, man, because I fuck with snail eaters, like, man. But, you know, now I'm like, I'm not getting it, but I'm just playing it back in my mind while I'm looking at it, like, I would have grabbed this snake immediately, not knowing if I was ever going to get another Dipsis. The same thing that happened with the Cybin I had. Got a Cybin for almost 2 years. I didn't see any Cybins for sale because they're a rare snake and nobody really wants them. So they get overlooked a lot. They don't catch them. So finally a Cybin comes in after 2 years, but it's not sexed. So I can buy it for $450 and get it. And then if it's the same sex as the one I already got, now I'm shit out of luck. So now I got 2 female snakes. I can't do nothing with them.
Right.
But then you see something come in and you're like, fuck, bro, I got to get it right now. Because why? There's 1,000 other people looking at this same snake as well. You know, and it's this individual for this price, somebody's going to get it. And then you hesitate. And so this is where that mentality comes from. So you hesitate. Oh, I'm going to wait. I'm going to just wait a couple days and see. Next day you wake up, that shit gone. So now, from now on, you like, man, you know what? Fuck this, bro. I'm about to get another 1,000, throw it what I already got, and now I'm about to just be on Hoobly or Morph Market or whatever the website is, just every day, just looking for this dog or for this snake. And as soon as I find it, I'm buying it. I don't give a fuck who it comes from. I don't care where it comes from because, you know, I just missed my opportunity because I was procrastinating.
Right.
Now I spend $2,000 on a dog or a cat or a snake, and it didn't even turn out. So now what happens? I don't want this dog no more. So what do you try to do? Try to sell it first. You can't sell it. Then what do you try to do? You give it away. Try to give it away. Don't nobody really want it. What do people do after that? Well, they could abandon it. They could.
Is that the shelter or is on the street?
Somewhere, leave it in the shelter. Like, there's many options because you impulsively bought something because you hesitated on something else, which tells you from point A to Z is that you was ill prepared from A all the way to Z.
Yep. Yep. My brother, this has been a awesome, awesome, awesome episode, man. And I can't wait for it to premiere, for people to see the different things that we plan, the different conversations that we plan. Not really planned, that we brought up to see this come and me hear it. It's just like, man, I'm excited for this one, bro, because like I at first I was kind of like, man, I always like to have a topic, right? But then when you was like, man, listen, we could just do some dog talk, some talk, and I was like, oh, okay. So when you said that, man, that was like a light bulb on. So then,
Yeah,
like, you
I
know what I'm
mean,
saying?
it's like I said, I don't have any problem with obviously, breed specific this or topic specific that. I mean, all that stuff is great, but like I said, I just the last like month or so, I'm just been like seeing like, damn, some of these people don't even know like just the basics, bro. Like this is crazy.
No, you're right.
So we gotta go back to basics. But I just like to have general conversations, bro. I feel like you get more that way. It's a more personable experience.
I agree.
And it's where people are not always. It also kind of keeps some of the tension away because, like I said, we're not here debating who's the best or what breed is better than this or what breed is better than that. Like, yeah, everybody's got an opinion. Like we said, shit is subjective. If I like presses, of course, and even then, like, oh yeah, I like presses, but I think a Dogo Argentino, in my opinion, is a better dog than a pressa. Motherfuckers not gonna agree with that. So great, but that's it. That's where all that garbage comes into play. Is because I got this dog, my dogs are better than your dog, or because you got this dog, your dogs are, like, bro, listen, the dog, if it works for you, then that's the best dog at the end of the day. Whatever one worked for you, your family, your friends, and your household, and your pockets, that is the best.
That's breed. Your breed. Right. That's right.
That's the best breed.
That's right. That's
as long
right,
as you
man.
like it. Don't let these people get you away from what you like.
That's right.
You end up with what they like.
No, never.
Get what you like. It's your money.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you, brother. Thank you. Let's walk it out, man. They love this on the podcast, man. Let's walk it out, man. You know what I mean? We're gonna have Rain walk it out.
Yo.
We gotta do it one more time. They love this right here, Rain.
Do they?
They love it, man. They love it. Every time I got a show, they say, walk it out.
That's that GTA.
Hey, that's a beautiful cat right there.
Oh, yeah, he's gorgeous.
Yeah, man. Rain will have some litters of kittens coming soon. Everybody cannot get one, so don't ask. You know what I'm saying? But my brother, man, it's been a pleasure, man. I thank you so much. Hopefully you'll come one more time, bro, because I love talking to you, man. Like, you know what I mean? I really have fun talking to you, brother. Thank you so much, man.
Yeah, man, anytime, bro.
All right, catch you next time. Be easy.
All right. Yep.
I mean, the American Pit Bull and the Bully, they're like family to us, you know? It's the loyalty, man. Nothing like it. Yep, they're special. And remember, new Duro Lounge podcast episodes are out every Wednesday.
Yeah.
What they talking about?
Yeah. I keep telling y'all, Duro is the man amongst all. Look, Duro got a plan from podcast to breedings. I never show my hand. It's the Brotherhood channel. Winners of the land. I don't walk in deep sand. Step heavy for the plan. Duro Bulls, baby. What we get it, how we live. See, I done took losses. I ain't run from the smoke. Every scar on my body is a lesson I wrote. Every friend that switched sides only made me aware. Now I move with my eyes open. Ain't no sleep over here. Y'all worry about gossip. I'm worried about goals. Y'all worry about likes. I'm worried about growth, big difference between us. I ain't chasing applause, I was built by the struggle, y'all was built by the laws. And the funny thing is, when I needed support, everybody disappeared, left me fighting the war. Now they see something moving, now they wanna come close, but I remember who vanished when I needed them most.
It's so easy. It's so easy. It's so easy. It's so easy.